Robert Estates Incorporated, serving all of your general contracting needs. United Financial Service, auto, life, and commercial insurance plus annuities. Grand Slam Grill. Visit us for one of our signature burgers and fresh cut fries. St. George Medical Clinic, locations in St. George, Parsons, and Canaan Valley. This TuckerCountySports.com broadcast is also being brought to you by Riccatelli Fencing and Lumber Company, your local rustic fence provider. Kidwell Auto Parts, with locations in Parsons and Thomas. Bob Gutschall, your local State Farm insurance agent. Cortland Acres, the nature of care. Choose us for your long-term care, rehab, and therapy needs. Mountain Valley Bank, locations in Parsons, Elkins, and Mill Creek. Sirianni's Cafe, with locations in Davis and Canaan Valley. Specialized Podiatry Care, located at Davis Medical Center in Elkins. And by the Paint Store, your Benjamin Moore supplier in Thomas and Morgantown. And now back to more exciting Tucker County action right here on TuckerCountySports.com. For the first time since 2018, the Tucker County Mountain Lion football team has themselves in the postseason, and what a year it was. 9-0 before week number 11, and then they suffered a 44-22 loss on the road at South Harrison. Tonight, the Mountain Lions look to get back in the winning side of things, and they need to do so tonight to advance into the second round of the playoffs, but they also face a familiar foe, a team they beat this year 14-13 in the Cougars from East Hardy. And this Mountain Lion pregame show is sponsored by Jim's All-Star. Jim's is located just outside Parsons and Brett's. They offer daily hot food lunch specials, daily meats, cold beverages, and fuel. Stop by and support Jim's All-Star, proud supporter of Tucker County Sports. Chris George alongside Dave Helmick tonight, and here we go. What a year it's been for the Tucker County Mountain Lions. 9-1, the number 7 seed. They host a 10-seed East Hardy, a very familiar opponent. And I think for our boys, since this group of kids have never tasted the postseason, I think it's a little bit better for them to play a team like East Hardy they're very familiar with and played earlier this year.
Yeah, it is, Chris. I mean, it's an opponent you narrowly beat, but you did beat them, and that's got to help you in this confidence factor. But you're exactly right. East Hardy, a more experienced playoff team, so that's the part that Tucker has to overcome tonight. But I think it's going to be a dandy of a game, just like it was back in Week 3 when they played to a 14-13 finish.
Two things have to happen tonight. Number one, no turnovers. Number two, stop the run. And that's easier said than done because Mason Miller can really run the football. And he's a quarterback. They love to spread you out, and they'll attack you horizontally in the passing game, and they'll attack you vertical in the running game. And Mason Miller on the year, how about these stats? He has passed for 1,287 yards and 14 touchdowns, but here's his rushing totals. 995 yards rushing, but 28 touchdowns on the ground this year for the senior Miller, and he's a horse. He's 5'10". They list him 210. It looks like he's about 225.
Yeah, very gifted quarterback and really caused all kinds of problems for Tucker County last time they played. Does a very good job of running the football. He's and something probably that isn't giving him enough credit. He's very good on the defensive end. He's a really stopper for them on defense. So a very good overall player is Miller, and definitely a key for tonight for East Hardy to get a win.
His top receiver on the season is Hampshire transfer Ashton Haslacker, a 6'1", 183-pound senior, 33 catches, 757 yards, and 8 touchdowns. But the guy that's the most dangerous of all, and he's not 100%, has not been 100% all year, but he's dangerous, and Dawson Price. He's their home run receiver. He's 6'3", 210. He's been offered a walk-on opportunity at WVU if he wants it. We'll just have to see where he goes, but he's not 100%. He has a knee injury. He's only caught 20 balls this year for 272 yards, but lately he's been more of a home run threat. He's that guy that loves to box people out downfield and make catches in man-on-man coverage.
Yeah, very talented individual, plays football, basketball, and a really good baseball player, too. Obviously you know about that. But just a jack of all trades on the baseball field, can play the shortstop, play the second base, put him in the outfield. He's a very good athlete. and it showed right here at East Hardy his whole career. He's had a very good career at East Hardy. He's caught a lot of passes, done a lot of good things, and definitely, not 100%, but him not even close to 100% is better him on the field than not. So definitely a tall task for Tucker County tonight to get this win and to beat a team a second time. And Tucker County got their work cut out for them. East Hardy does too. We talk a little bit about Tucker County too. They're a little different animal, Chris, than what you've probably seen. Tucker County passes the ball more than they run it. It's kind of a weird thing for Tucker County if you look back through the years.
Yeah, they went to the RPO game this year, which is what you see a lot at the next level. A lot of read option plays, read pass options, and a lot of it's pass. And that's exactly what they've done well this year. Ethan Rosenall has really had a heck of a year, 2,800 yards passing and 35 touchdowns. And he's had some great receivers. How about Maddox Anderson? 41 catches, 1,067 yards, 15 touchdowns. And also this year, Blake Adams just came out of nowhere. Adams on the year, 38 catches, 454 yards, 7 touchdowns. They'll be without, though, a huge loss tonight for Tucker County both ways. Trenton Wilfong, a senior, he has caught 36 passes for 681 yards, will be not in the lineup tonight. He's also out at safety, which is huge because as much as East Hardy will throw the football, so in his place we'll see Racer Channel play some on both sides.
Yeah, and, someone else is going to have to step up for Tucker County and get it done.
Should be a fun one. And we had a chance to talk to A.J. Rapp earlier. And, Dave, before we go to Rapp, you have a few words to say. Yeah,
and we want to welcome on some special sponsors to help us get this broadcast on tonight. And you're listening to the Jim's All-Star pregame right now. Jim's All-Star has come on board and sponsored us. Later on, we'll have a halftime sponsor for our halftime show will be the Spectacle Family Eye Care, and also the Grove Cafe and Bakery, both located in Petersburg. And then later on, after the game, the post-game sponsor for tonight will be Accurate Auto Estimators and Collision Repair. We'll have those for you, and we have all the other sponsors you've already heard that's been with us throughout the season for our audio. And then we also want to thank St. George Medical Clinic for their generous donation to provide you video for football and basketball and volleyball, everything that's going on either at the football field or the gym. We want to thank them for that. All right, we're going to pause now and hear from our head coach, A.J. Rapp. Dave Helmick, TuckerCountySports.com. Chris George back here with head coach A.J. Rapp. Coach, just want to get with you before tonight's playoff game here with East Hardy. But touch briefly on last week, at South Harrison, one of those out-of-body experiences probably for you, but just touch briefly on that game.
The game wasn't as far-reaching as it looked. They had control the whole game. We knew going in that they were going to be tough running the ball. But when you turn 4 turnovers against a team like that, and you're not getting the ball back, it just takes the scores away from you, takes your opportunities away from you. They were very motivated. They thought they had to win to get in. Our guys were kind of lackadaisical starting off and lasted pretty much the whole game, honestly. Hopefully tonight, being on the ropes here, everybody's on the ropes tonight. So if you're on the ropes, hopefully our guys come out a little different.
Yeah, I was going to talk to you about that. Do you think the pressure may be off just to Harris since it was an undefeated team? Maybe you get that first loss and put it behind you and refocus here on the playoffs because, hey, now it's win or go home.
Yeah, losing's never a good thing, but sometimes you hate to do it the game before the playoffs, back in the playoffs, so to speak. But sometimes it's an eye-opener and it wakes your kids up. And, the kids have been a little more focused this week, I've noticed, and, not as jovial and joking around. And, the pressure of the playoffs now, and they understand what's at stake. It's one and done if you don't do what you're supposed to do.
East Hardy, the opponent. The hardest thing I think you have to do is play a team twice in the same year. Fortunately, you played them earlier in the year. That helps a little bit, but this is a tough opponent. It's the team that spreads you out, and they'll run north-south. They'll kind of spread you horizontally, but they'll attack you vertically with the run game and their quarterback, Mason Miller.
Yeah, it's no easy game here. We knew that going in. We scathed by there to 13-13 in week 3, and I was glad to get them early. But I told our boys don't fret that. We've got better. I'm sure they've got better. It's going to be a good ball game tonight. Ideally, every year I've ever made the playoffs, I always hope that you never have to play someone you already played. But it worked out that way, so that's what we got to do.
Obviously, the key tonight, in my opinion, is turnovers. It played a big part in the last time you played them. They turned it over 4 times. You turned it over twice, and then the 2 turnovers we had really didn't hurt us too bad. Have you talked to your kids this week, and particularly Ethan, about ball control and making the right reads and that sort of thing?
Yeah, but as much as we throw the ball, and if you look at Ethan's numbers wise, he's got I think 11 interceptions on the year, and he's thrown it almost 300-400 times. I don't know, 300 some times. You're going to have that high school kid, and it's something you got to. I hate it. I give it to him every time he does it. I don't let him think it's a good thing, but it's sometimes it's what you got to swallow as a coach. You don't want that, obviously, but it happens. And as much as we sling the ball around, and he does a heck of a job. 2,800 yards passing on a regular season, that's the most I've ever seen around here. So.
If you had a quarterback, throw 35 touchdowns in the season.
You've been around here a long time. You know better than that. I don't know if I've ever had a running back run 30 touchdowns, but that's all my old assistant coaches. They keep texting me and calling me, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I don't know, man. Just on the ride."
Hey, one final thing, Coach. Trent Wolfong will not play tonight, and that's the key to your offense and defense. Talk about what that means without him on both sides of the football here.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. He's an athletic kid. He's one of those kids that's kept us in games, and the last time when we played he started, he actually caught the winning touchdown for us, But Racer Channel's going to come in. He's a capable kid. He may not be as athletic as Trenton, but he's capable, and he's got better throughout the year. So we're looking forward to it, and, let's see what happens. We got other guys too. We got guys out there can run and play, and it seems like when they take some this year, Trenton's led us in receiving a game or two, and Maddox has led us in several games, and Blake's had big games, and so it'd really been bad if we didn't have them both back. I hate it for Trenton, being a senior. Hopefully this is not the end of it, but I hope we get a chance next week to play again.
One other thing I want to talk about, 10 sacks you gave up. We've only given up 10 sacks this year. Looked at the stats. We probably had 4 or 5 last week.
Yeah.
Talk about that difference between last week and what you're going to make that not happen tonight.
Well, South Harrison, they're just a different kind of football team. They play their offense just like they do their defense in a box and cover you up. And, we still had a good game.
Right.
We still had a good passing game of what we do.
There's only 30 yards difference in total yards.
Yeah, we just couldn't, we could not get the ball out of their hands. We could not get a stop. And then we gave them 4 more turnovers that gave them the ball back. And, not only did they eat the clock, they were tough. We couldn't get them down. So,
right.
That's the thing of it, is just trying to keep the ball in our hands. Punt's not a bad thing. Let's play and see what happens.
One final thought for me. How important is it to get off to a quick start here in this one?
East Hardy's been in the playoffs the last several years, so they've been here and done that. Our kids haven't been in it for 4 years. None of these guys have been in the playoffs, so they're all a little belly butterflied right now. So we'll, I told them, I said, be nervous. I'm nervous. Be nervous.
Yeah.
As soon as that opening kickoff happens, the nerves got to go out the door, and I've been that way for 20 years. So.
All right, last question. I always ask it. Your key to tonight, offensive, defensively, to get this win and move on.
Defensively, we just got to control the run game. I didn't think I'd ever have to say that against East Hardy. Typically, it's that's even last game we played them. We were guarding pass. So I just kept waiting for them, to throw one over. So they just kept chugging. They went on a 20-play drive down the field on us, and that wasn't a bad thing, but they scored on it. Offensively wise, again, we got to take care of the football. You can't have a bunch of turnovers.
All right, well, good luck.
Thanks,
Let's
guys.
Get a win.
Appreciate it.
That was Tucker County head coach A.J. Rapp. We'll be back with more of the pregame after this. Welcome back to the Jim's All-Star pregame. The Mountain Lions pregame sponsored by Jim's All-Star. Jim's is located outside of Parsons in Brett's. They offer hot daily food specials, deli meats, cold beverages, and fuel. Stop by and support Jim's All-Star, proud supporter of Tucker County sports. And we're back here at R.H. Armstrong Memorial Field, class of 1984 stadium. Dave Helmick with you. Chris George also with us tonight. A special guest, Chris George. Not too often, Chris, we get back together, but the band's back together tonight.
Yeah, it's good to be home. Really it is. It's good to see some familiar faces and talk to a lot of people before the game. And you and I have covered a ton of games here at this facility. We were here during the playoff run back in 2012. I can remember it just as clear as day. And, of course, that semifinal game against Madonna was in the snow. Really a game we should have won. And a lot of people are trying to compare this team and that team, and I think they're totally different teams.
Oh, they are.
I think this team has as many athletes, if not more, than that team. But, boy, that team had a heck of an offense and defensive line, and that might be the difference.
It was
there.
a senior-laden team that year, and we talked about this a little bit off the air before we got on the air, and I'm no disrespect here, but this team, I think this year, is maybe a little ahead of what everybody thought they'd be. I mean, if you asked Coach Rapp at the beginning of the year and said, "Oh, you would be 9-0 going into your last game," he probably would have said, "Really?" So, no disrespect to these kids. They've went out and they've done what they need to do, but I really think this team probably has overachieved a little bit. And like I said, that doesn't have anything to do with right now. But when you look back to the season, I really think you probably thought there would be more than one loss on the schedule.
I have always said, and East Hardy is prime example of this. They established this years ago. If you have a football team that can spread the field with athletes in Class Single A, you have a chance to go places. That's exactly what this Tucker County team has done this year with Ethan Rosenthal and his talented receiver core. They have spread the field, and it's been tough for teams in Single A to match that speed and athleticism from one sideline to the other, both horizontally and vertically, and they've attacked them a little bit with the run game, but that is the deal. East Hardy's been doing this for 15 years. Now Tucker County is now doing it like they did a little bit back in 2012 with Derek Nestor and his talented receivers and Nathaniel Goldstein and Tyler Snyder, but the difference that team was a very good offensive line and defensive line. This Tucker County defensive line and offensive line is better.
They're younger.
I think they're better in pass pro than they are run blocking, but defensively is going to be the test tonight, and that is Mason Miller.
Well, you're Mason Miller. You're exactly right, but I'll just touch briefly on the difference. The team in 2012 could stop the run better than this team this year of Tucker County, and that's no disrespect. Again, I think it's a little bit of youth. I think you give this team another year on that line. Obviously, we're going to lose a great player in Don Monix, but I think these kids are going to mature and get better and be more well built for that run game stoppage.
Two players, Michael Atkins and Corey DeBartolomeo. What would they mean to a team like this right now? Oh my goodness!
Yes, and Mason Miller. We'll get back to that. I mean, hats off to this kid. He's just a bruiser, man. He gets it up in there. He runs well, and when he has to pass it, he does a decent job of passing. But Tucker County kind of negated the pass a little bit. If I go back and look at the stats, I think they only had one or two decent pass plays against Tucker County. Tucker County got a couple interceptions, kind of rattled them a little bit on the pass game, so they went to the run. But then when it got late, Chris, East Hardy had the ball. I think it was like under 2 minutes, but they were out of timeouts, and they really couldn't run the ball, effectively because of the time, and essentially, Tucker got to stop, and then got the time ran out and won the game.
And building on that, this is their senior core out here. This team is built to win now for East Hardy. All these guys we've talked about are seniors. I mean,
we can flip the script, right?
Yeah, we could.
East Hardy's probably a little underachieved and probably disappointing for what they had coming back. So, that happens in high school football.
I think some of that has to do with Dawson Price.
Exactly.
He's been hurt. He's played.
Yeah, he's healthy. They're way different.
Yeah, he's played in 6 games, but he hasn't been that big. Man, he's a stud.
Yeah.
And he hasn't been that type of player this year because he's been limited with knee injury. But here at the end of the year, he's getting more and more deep balls thrown his way. And how about the Hampshire transfer, Ashton Hashlacker? He's been the difference for him this year.
Yeah, great. I mean, it's an athlete. You can see it out there. Good kid, and we're about to have the anthem, and we will keep it here. It's what I've been doing with the video, and I'll try to get the mic out there once they start it and give you a listen to the national anthem.
National anthem performed here at R.H. Armstrong Memorial Field, the class of '84 Alumni Stadium, just ahead of our first-round playoff contest between the number 7 seed Tucker County Mountain Lions and 9-1 on the year against the number 10 seed East Hardy Cougars. They come in at 8-2. Only 2 losses are to, of course, we mentioned Tucker County 14-13, and then St. Mary's just a couple weeks ago in Pleasants County. Dave.
Yeah, and I want to take this time to announce a couple PA announcements from the WVSSAC, and that is drinking chocolate milk, the official beverage of West Virginia High School sports, helps to recover for what comes next. It's delicious and contains the right mix of protein and carbs to help refresh exhausted muscles. For more information, visit drink-milk.com. Metro News, the best coverage of high school sports in West Virginia all year. Follow Joe Baccato and Craig Carey's Daily Post at wvmetronews.com. And Joe Baccato, one of our buddies, Chris.
And I probably should be drinking more chocolate milk, Dave. What about you?
Well, I drink it occasionally, but not probably as much as I should.
Hey, we admit when we have faults, folks. We really do. And let's hope that's the only faults tonight is with us and Dave. And down the field, Tucker County is playing their best game. And I really think this game comes down to the start. Tucker County needs to play from in front tonight. They struggled with that last week, obviously, at South Harrison. I think you want to force East Hardy to throw the football. And people may think, what? Why? Yeah, I think this East Hardy team's better at running the football from the spread than they are from throwing the football from the spread. So if Tucker County can play from in front and make East Hardy have to pass the football to win this game, I think Tucker County is going to the second round.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's definitely a key. I mean, we'll see how it plays out. I mean, obviously, we're basing that from the last matchup. So, you go into the playoffs, and sometimes these coaches, Chris, come up with a little bit different stuff than what everybody's seen on film. So that's the other wild card you coming out here. Will anybody change things up? East Hardy, I'm sure, is probably going to think run the ball more than they did last time. Sit here and guess, but the one thing's for sure, I really believe this. In a normal year, Chris, with Tucker County at 9-1, East Hardy at 8-2, they're not playing in the first round. They probably both have home matchups, playing a 6-4 team in the first round. You agree with that?
Yeah, I agree.
Because we had 6 up until last week. We had 5 or 6 undefeated teams in Class A.
Yeah.
And as we sit now in the playoffs, we still have 3 or 4.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So this has been just a crazy year as far as the seeding. You got an 8-2 East Hardy team as a 10 seed, who I really believe in the whole scheme of things is probably good enough to host a playoff game. In normal years. So, maybe even, where Tucker is at a 7 seed or higher if everybody else has the 1 or 2 losses.
Well, and I voted in the Metro News Power Poll each week, and they're higher than 10 in my poll. It's just because, single A is so top-heavy this year. And speaking of East Hardy, let's take a look at their starting lineups. For Devin Orndorff's crew, the left tackle is J.B. Shipe. At left guard is Miles Kidwell. Both of them are seniors. Wyatt Hockman is the junior center. At right guard is their biggest lineman, Jacob Gaynor, 6'2", 314, and he is a senior. And their right tackle, their most talented lineman on both sides of the football, is Justin Parker, 6'3", 215, and a junior. For the Cougars, the wide receivers, Ashton Hashlacker, the transfer from Hampshire, a senior, 6'1", 183. I told you his stats earlier. Leads the team in receiving of 757 yards and 8 scores. Dawson Price, their most talented receiver, but he's not nearly at 100%. He goes 6'3", 210. He is a senior. The slot receivers are Brandon Parker and Brendan Jones. Also, Eli Mathias will get some time in there as well. The tailback is by committee. Damian Dellinger and Tyler Torillo both will see action there. And your quarterback, do-it-all athlete, Mason Miller, 5'10", 210, a senior. And for Tucker County, offensively, they look like this across the front line. Hayden Smith, the left tackle, a senior. Levi Pennington, a senior on the left side as well, a guard. The center is senior Dom Mulnex. The right guard is junior Gavin Mullinex, and the right tackle is junior From the basketball team, Owen Knotts. The wide receivers tonight, Maddox Anderson, 41 catches, 1,067 yards, 15 touchdowns on one side. Ashton Licklider, the other, 14 catches, 184 yards. But he's been coming on as of late here, and he may be big tonight, is Licklider, the junior. He's 6'6" tall. The slot receivers, out is Trent Wilfong. We'll see a combination of Will McAllister and Racer Channel in that position. Channel is listed as a junior, and McAllister is a senior. McAllister will also see time at running back. Blake Adams, the other slot receiver, and he's had a good year as well, 7 scores. Your starting tailback, 594 yards rushing and 14 touchdowns, the sophomore who runs hard, Jared Reel. And there's your starters for both teams, Dave.
Yeah, and one thing about Jared Reel, he's probably our best defender, tackler on the defensive side, so doesn't get enough credit. And not very tall in stature, but very, very good at the defensive position.
Our buddy Carl Holcomb is here. Where East Hardy goes, Carl follows. There he is, down there at the 40-yard line, as you can see on your screen, watching here with the green hat. I tell you what, you can't ask for better weather here. Temperatures in the upper 50s.
Well, and it's
dry field.
Not supposed to get down below 50 tonight.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, dry. You may have a little bit of a wind as the game goes on. The wind may pick up, but yeah, beautiful weather.
Coin toss getting ready to take place down in front of us.
I tell you what, if I'm Tucker County, I take it if we win, but A.J. Rapp is like to decline that opening toss if his team wins it. Of course, East Hardy will call it, being the visiting team in the white jersey tops with the 4 screen numbers and 4 screen collar pants. Your referee tonight is Sammy DeMarco. He is the white hat.
And he's supposed to be mic'd up, but maybe don't have his mic on at this moment. Be nice if he did.
And the flip is in the air. East Hardy called the toss. And it looks like Tucker County has won the toss. They have, and they'll probably defer, and they do. So that means the East Hardy Cougars will get the football first to start tonight's game. And that means we'll see Mason Miller, the senior quarterback. He reminds me of former Tucker County quarterback Brendan Miller back in the day. And, of course, Brendan, boy, he ran for a ton of yards here. And he played a little bit before that 2012 playoff team, but he was a record-setting quarterback here for Tucker.
Yeah, he was a great baseball player as well, which you know all about that. And, Brendan did a nice job. Also, I coached his sister, Olivia, all through high school. So, good family, good athletic genes there. Their dad, Rick, coached me when I played Little League way back in the 7th, 8th grade. So, a lot of history there. But you're exactly right. Brendan Miller did a nice job at the quarterback position here at Tucker County many years ago. We're about ready to get this thing underway. A little later than normal, but playoff football is back in Parsons, West Virginia.
Price Strawderman and Ashton Hashlacker will go deep for the Cougars. And they'll travel on your screen from our left to right. This Tucker County team trying to get off to a good start as Sammy Marks will do the kicking here tonight. Now, Trent Wilfong is a loss in more than just offense and defense, Dave. You mentioned on special teams he does some kicking as well.
Yeah, he's a punter, kicks off, so you can lose that aspect with Trent not out there. But like Coach Rapp said in his pregame interview, as I want to thank also Jim's All-Star for that pregame show, hopefully Tucker County can get a win and get Trenton back on the field maybe next week.
Sammy Marks, also the backup quarterback on this football team, a freshman, ready to kick things off, and we're underway in the single-A playoffs. It's a low line drive kick fielded off an up man at the 44-yard line and covered there by offensive lineman Miles Kidwell at the 45, and that's where the East Hardy Cougars will take over first down and 10.
Yeah, good field position there for East Hardy off that swim kick that didn't go as planned. And East Hardy breaks the huddle, first and 10.
Okay, they're going to send trips left, single receiver Dawson Price, near side to the right. It's a pistol formation. Now they're going to line the running back Torillo to the right of Miller. He fakes it. Miller carries it right up the middle. Big running room in the Mount Line territory across the 40 and down to the 34-yard line. There you go, straight up the middle, right off the center. Hockman goes to senior quarterback Mason Miller all the way down to the 35-yard line. He picks up 20 yards on the play.
Yeah, big run there by East Hardy, and not a good sign for Tucker to start things off.
That's what they do. They spread you horizontally and they attack you vertical in the run game with those wide splits on the offensive line. Again, they're in the pistol. And they're going to run a little stretch play off the left side of Torillo, and there's going to be a flag on the play as being held there was Tucker County's Owen Knotts. So this play's going to come back. Holding is the call against East Hardy.
Yeah, he threw that flag a mile, too. Flag lays at the 33, actually 34.
So he'll get a yard, and they'll back it up. It'll be 1st and 19.
So 1 yard there for Torillo.
So should put the ball at the 49. Or check that, the 44, excuse me. And that's where it is, 44-yard line.
Of Tucker.
You got that right. 1st down, 19. Okay, here we go. Twin receivers to both sides. Quarterback Mason Miller in the pistol. Torillo behind him. They're going to bring Torillo, line him up to the right of the quarterback Miller. And he fakes it. Runs the quarterback read up the middle, and he's going to be hit and dropped initially in there on the stop for Tucker. On first contact was Mark Phillips, and then Don Molnex and crew brought him down behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 1 on the play at the 45. Brings up 2nd down and 20.
Yeah, nice job there by Tucker County defense. Gets Miller down and gets in the backfield. This is where you want East Hardy, behind the chains, and a penalty helped.
Twin receivers to both sides. And again, the line Torillo up to the right of the quarterback. Miller, 2nd and 20. Miller's going to pass. He fakes right, throws a slant over the middle, too tall, intended for Hatchlacker at the 33-yard line, and it goes incomplete. You had coverage over there on the far side by Jacob Barrett, and also Don Molnex, for middle linebacker position, kind of went back in zone coverage and kind of double-team Hatchlacker there at the 34, incomplete, 3rd down.
Yeah, 3rd and 20 here for East Hardy, and they're going to go for it more than likely. If they don't get it here, if they get some of it, I mean. So you got to be careful of the run here.
10:34 to go, first quarter, no score. 3rd down and 20 from the 45 of Tucker. And now into the game is Damian Dillinger as an H-back lined up to the right, almost a tight end like. We'll call him an H-back because he's not attached to the end of the line. And they'll use Dillinger in that role a lot tonight. And they got twin receivers right and a single receiver left. And we got officials' time down below as they're trying to reset the play clock. As right now it's stopped at 7. They're trying to reset that.
They're having some problems with it, so they're probably going to have to keep it on the field.
Yeah, that's what they're going to do. They're going to turn it off. Okay, here we go. 3rd down and 20. In the pistol is Miller. Examines the Mountain Line defense. Rolls the pocket to the right. Looks downfield. Throws under the coverage. Ball pulled in by Dillinger and incomplete, out of bounds. His foot was on the line at the 40 of Tucker, and it's going to be 4th down.
Yep, incomplete. The referee's talking about it down there, but it's definitely ruled incomplete. Really close, though. Not sure if he got his toe tap there. That's really hard to see with these high school football lines, and it'll be 4th down and 20, and you got to think East Hardy's going to punt it here.
They may go. We'll see. You never know with them. Miller does do the punting for him, so keep that in mind.
Well, it looks like they're going for it.
Okay, trips left. Single receiver. There's Dawson Price. Man-on-man coverage to the near side. In the shotgun is Miller. 4th down and 20. Pump fake left. He'll fire a deep ball. Down the left sideline for
nice
Brandon
job.
Jones. It's incomplete. Deflected to the ground. And in
Maddox Anderson.
Maddox Anderson. Good job by Maddox Anderson stepping in front of Brandon Jones, the intended receiver. Jones lined up as a slot in the trips bunch to the left. He ran a go route. They pump faked it to the split end wide left, and they ran a slot fade to Jones. And great job by Maddox Anderson to block it to the ground. Incomplete. Tucker takes over 1st and 10 from their own 45.
Yeah, nice job by Tucker not to bite on that fake and stay at home because that was all eye candy there up front. And Tucker County gets a turnover on downs here and gets a stop.
Okay, Tucker County takes over Ethan Rosenall. Lines reel up just to his right. Trips right, single receiver left. And he hands it off to Reel, and the running room is tough to come by. And he gets back to the line of scrimmage, no gain. In there on the stop for the Cougars of East Hardy is the middle linebacker, J.B. Shipe, 6'2", 175, or 195, and the senior. He and Miller both play that inside linebacker position. 2nd and 10.
No gain there for Tucker.
Shotgun spread set, twin receivers to left, twin to the right. To the right is Jared Reel, the sophomore running back for Tucker. Rosenall in this RPO offense. He fakes it. He's going to pull it out of the running back's belly, and the ball's picked off. Here comes East Hardy. It's Torillo on the interception across the 40. Down the bounce at the Mount Line, 35. Looks like there was miscommunication on the play, and Torillo was standing right there. It was a hot slant across the middle, and Torillo gets the interception, and East Hardy's back in business.
Yeah, turnover there by Rosenall, and really thought that ball maybe should have been up and out over the top, and he tried to fastball it in. The linebacker steps in there and intercepts it.
Well, you had to avoid the turnovers. You had 4 last week that hurt you severely in that South Harrison loss, and 1 here early on in the hair. 9:38 to go.
Yeah, it comes with 9:39 left in the first turnover of the game.
Quarterback ISO off the left side. Miller is going to be hit and dropped right at the 35-yard line. Over there on the stop once again for Tucker is Owen Knotts and crew. And they'll spot the ball across the 35 down to the 33-yard line. So give him progress there to the 33. It'll be 2nd down coming up and about 6, I would say. Yep, 2nd and 6 from the 33. Dillinger lines up as a tight end to the right. Offset. Twin receivers right, 1 left. And they're going to hand it off. And slipping through there is the running back, and that's Strauderman. He's going to get tackled inside the 30-yard. Yep, they're going to move him back to the 31. So Price Strauderman gets to 31, gains 2. It's going to be 3rd and 4 coming up for the Cougs. Now they'll use Dillinger some at tailback. He's a jack of all trades. He'll be a tight end, an H-back, and they'll put him in the backfield as well. He's also the team's backup quarterback.
3rd and 4.
Ball at the 31. Miller examines the defense. Runs right off the back of Strauderman. Hit by Dahl Molnex, but he tackles him forward at the 28. And he's going to be about a yard shy of his first down. Molnex got a hold of him, but then he tackled him forward, gave him an extra yard on that takedown. And that's going to bring up 4th and 1. You know they're going to go for it here.
Yeah, most definitely. They went forward on 4th and 20. They're definitely going to go forward on 4th and 1.
And you kind of figure this is going to be number 13 all the way here, Mason Miller. We'll see.
And this, Chris, what makes them so dangerous. Like, it's just hard to stop them in this situation. That's why when you back them up with 3rd and 4th and long, you like your chances.
Broken eye to the left. They'll hand it off top of the eye. Strauderman hit and dropped. He didn't get there.
Wow.
They outthought themselves. Instead, they went to a broken eye left, and they gave it to Strauderman, and he got hit by Molnex, and they bring him down at the line of scrimmage. 1st down, fails. 1st down, Mount Lions.
How about this? Everybody talked about these offenses. The defense said, wait a minute here. The defense for East Hardy with an interception on that. Tucker County's first possession. Tucker County's held East Hardy to turnover on downs on their 2 possessions.
Maybe 14-13 will relive itself again, huh?
Maybe.
Yeah. How do you not give Miller that carry there on 4th and 1? Wow. Okay, here we go.
Ball's at the 28 of Tucker.
Twin receivers to both sides, and the gun is Rosenall. He fakes it, and nope, he hands it off. And going nowhere off the right side is Jared Reel into the arms of Justin Parker. He's their leading sack guy on the season with 8. Parker 6'3", 215. I think he's their best lineman both ways, and he showed it right there.
Yeah, nice play there by East Hardy to get Reel contained and then go to the ball quickly and get him for a loss.
Actually, they're going to give him, yeah, you're right. They're going to give him progress to 27, a loss of 1, 2nd and 11. Tucker County's going to bunch 3 receivers tightly to the line left. Single receiver to the right. Rosenall to pass. They're going to set up a screen. They're going to catch the screen. It's McAllister. McAllister gets dropped at 29, picks up 2 on the play. And he did a little bit too much dancing there, Dave. And bringing him down there is J.B. Shipe. So they'll get to the 29. It'll be 3rd and 9.
Yeah, just catch that ball. You just got to cut left and go up the field. And he just took a little bit too long to do that, and East Hardy caught him. Just a 2-yard gain there.
6:30 to go, first quarter, no score. Twin receivers to both sides. Reel back. No, it is still McAllister in there at running back. In motion goes Maddox Anderson from left to right through the formation. Long snap count. Rosenall slaps his hands, drops the pass, fires a deep ball downfield. It's incomplete. Anderson, the intended receiver. The ball goes over his head. Dawson Price on coverage, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, Anderson stopped running there. I think he kind of mistimed that.
I think he made a good point there, Dave.
Rosenall, he's got an arm on him, folks. I mean, you say what you want about him, make a mistake, with that interception, but I don't know about outrunning him. That arm's pretty strong.
Well, Dawson Bryce, step for step with him, showing that knee may be more healthier than what it's been all year. And, of course, his numbers have picked up the last few weeks. On the punt is Marks. High snap. He drops it, goes to pick it up, and he gets hit and hammered into 9.
Oh, my. Big play there. Not what you need if you're Tucker. You can't even get the punt off. So it's going to be turnover on downs all the way down to the Tucker County 10-yard line.
And look who it was on the stop, Dawson Price. I mean, he came right in there, and he drilled Marks at the 9. We talked about that. Now, Wilfong goes about 6'3". He may have been able to catch that. I mean, right there's a difference. Okay, here we go. That's basically another turnover, so it's 1st and goal, East Hardy at the 9.
Well, and look at the short field East Hardy's had.
Empty set. Wing left. And a 12th player, or 11th player, is going to come on the field. That's Torillo. Now it's a sidecar to the right. And it's quarterback isolation off Torillo's back. Miller to the goal line. Spins his way down to the 1. 2nd and goal at the 1. Gain of 8.
Yep, Miller up the middle for a nice gain there and just kept going.
And that's just
Tucker County tacklers bouncing off of him.
That's just a quarterback ISO if the running back is the lead blocker. And I would not be surprised to see it again here. Dillinger now lines up at fullback. The tailback is Torillo. 2nd and goal at the 1. Under center is Miller. It's an I formation, twin receivers left. Quarterback keeper up the middle, end zone, touchdown, Mason Miller. And for Mason Miller, that is his 29th rushing touchdown of the season. And with 5:18 to go in the first quarter, East Hardy up 6-0. All because of the bad snap on special teams on the punt.
Yeah, and you attribute it to a couple things, Chris. One is the field position battle being won by East Hardy. Even the turnover on downs by Tucker twice. Tucker not good field position, and they have to punt it in their own territory. They drop the punt. Gives East Hardy a short field.
Dawson Price on the kick, the post to the right. Jones is the holder. The kick is line drive up, wide right, no good. 5:18 to go here in the first quarter. Our score, East Hardy 6, Tucker County nothing. For the best news coverage of high school sports in West Virginia all year, follow Joe Mercado and Greg Carey. Daily posts at WVMetroNews.com. We'll come back right after this with the kickoff here on TuckerCountySports.com. This TuckerCountySports.com broadcast live on the Tucker County High School football and basketball YouTube page is being brought to you by Pat A. Nichols, attorney at law, Jim's All-Star, Mike Rosenall, your Tucker County Commissioner, Fargo Insurance Group, Atkins Home Center in Southern States of Parsons, Mr. Pizza of Parsons, Robert Estates Incorporated, United Financial Service, and Black Grand Slam Grill. And now back to more exciting Mountain Lion action right here on TuckerCountySports.com. And we're back here, 5:18 to go here. Quarter number one, Tucker County trails East Tardy 6-0. Want to say hello to Tyson Shahan, who just reached out to us, listening in, former great mountain lion here back in the day. And Tyson, of course, his brother Bill here as an assistant principal at the high school, who was also in attendance tonight. Boy, those names bring back some memories of good football in the past, Dave.
Yeah, good football, and rode my school bus growing up, so those boys were behind me. Tyson was just a little tyke there when I was in school, so good to hear from Tyson. And you're exactly right. Great football players, not only at Tucker County, but at Glenville State also. Okay,
Dawson Price to kick it off, and it's a line drive kick, angles to the near side. It's going to go into the end zone for an automatic touchback, and that's where Tucker will take over first down and 10 at their own 20, trailing by 6.
Yeah, and it was a East Hardy drive that started at the Tucker 9, 1-yard touchdown run by Mason Miller. That came with 5:18 left in the first quarter to give East Hardy the 6-0 lead.
Early first quarter lead, Class AAA playoffs. The number 8 seed Musselman leads the number 9 seed Wheeling Park 7-0. That's also a rematch of a game played at Wheeling Island Stadium earlier this year, which Wheeling Park was victorious, but the Appleman up early behind Ray Adamas and crew. Okay, Ethan Rosenthal back in the gun. Twin receivers to both sides. They'll bring Blake Adams in motion, a slot receiver from right to left. They'll throw a slot screen. It's caught by Adams, far side of the field, gets by one, and it's going to get hit and dropped right at the out-of-bounds mark. Give him a couple on the play, second down. And over there on the stop was Mason Miller, the quarterback, one of the inside linebackers / safeties. Kind of plays a rover spot for this Cougar team. Give him the 22-yard line, 2nd and 8. Back in the gun goes Rosenthal. And they're going to send Real in motion out of the backfield. Oh, he may have went forward before the snap, and he'll fire it over the middle. It's caught, first down across the 40, and run out of bounds is the receiver for Tucker County, and I believe that is Racer Channel. Yes, sir. Good job by Racer as he races it out of bounds for the first down up to the mount line, 42-yard line, 20 yards on the catch and run. He was a slot on the far side, just ran a stop pattern, caught it, went right upfield, and got what he could. Good job, Racer Channel. Tucker needs to match the score for East Tardy. Twin receivers to both sides. To the right of the quarterback is Jared Real. Real slaps his hands it off. It's Real. Has running room off the near side. Breaks one tackle. Gets to the 45. Head down across the 50 and down to the East Tardy 49-yard line. A yard shy of the first down. What a run by Jared Real, the sophomore.
See what he did, Chris? He ducked under 2 defenders, and they both missed him. It was a nice play by Jared Real.
Beautiful. Beautiful play by the sophomore.
That pass play from Ethan Rosenthal to Channel, 20 yards.
And that run there of 8 for Real to the 49. Second down and about 2. About a yard and a half, really. They need to get in between the 47 and 46 for the first down. And the gun is Rosenthal. And he hands it. Oh, no, it's a fake. Quarterback zone read, keep up the middle, and he's going to be right close to the yard to gain. As bringing him down there for East Tardy is going to be number 12, Brandon Parker, the linebacker. And they're going to give him the first down. First down, Mount Lions at the 47. Gain of 2.
Yeah, that's the East Tardy 47. Good job there by Rosenthal. Doesn't run much, but got 2 yards there for Tucker to move the chains.
Rosenthal does a great job carrying out his play-action fakes. He really does. And that's why this RPO pass game has worked so well this year. East Tardy right now with a 5-man box with the 2 outside linebackers covering slot receivers, basically right now. Rosenthal, screen, far side, Licklider pulls it in, the big man across the 40 and tackled there, lost the football, and let's hope Tucker gets it back. Down. Yep, he does get it back while he's on the ground as well. But good catch and run for Licklider. He'll get down to the 40. He'll pick up 7, brings up 2nd and 3. And that's a big guy out there at 6'6", is Ashton Licklider.
Yeah, I want to say hello to Fred Meyer from San Antonio, Texas, who joined us for the broadcast. Good to have him listening and watching.
McAllister back in at running back. Rosenthal Hands it to McAllister, and he should have the first down on forward progress before the Cougars pull him back. Gainer is one of them in there, and that's their biggest lineman. Jacob Gainer, 6'2", 314, and a senior. They'll mark the ball at the 38, and if I'm A.J. Rapp, I ask for a measurement, but Sammy DeMarco says, nope, I got this. It's third down in the yard.
Yeah, one thing I've learned about him, he don't measure.
I knew you were going to say that. Twin receivers to both sides, 3rd and inches. Rosenall changes the cadence, slaps his hands a second time, hands it off McAllister. This time he has the first down right up the gut, and he'll get down to the 35, and he'll pick up 3, and the first down is recorded with 2:08 to go in the first quarter. 6-0 Cougars.
Yeah, McAllister's some good runs here up the middle. Running hard is Will McAllister.
And it's only a 5-man box. Really, we should be getting a little bit more push up there, but that down 4 for East Hardy is strong and big, and they're controlling the line of scrimmage in the run game right now. 1st and 10. Wing right. Faking and rolling right is Rosenall. Throws out pattern. It's intercepted. 2nd interception tonight for Rosenall.
Yeah, as soon as he planted that pass, Chris, his foot slipped. Didn't get a good plant foot when he threw it.
It's Torillo again, his 2nd pick of the night. Dave, go ahead.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not sure if that had anything to do with the interception, but just not a good read there. It wasn't open. And like you said, Chris, the box is favoring the run, so, you got to stay with the run until they stop the run and get that box, where you want it. They don't want him to pass, and you can see why.
Pistol formation. Miller. Stretch handoff. Near side. Aforementioned Torillo cuts back near hash mark and dragged down by Tucker County's Owen Knotts. And also in there for the Mount Lions was Levi Pennington.
I hear the Tucker coaches yelling hold up there. Not sure about that, but I didn't see it, so I can't say.
Gain of 1, 2nd and 9. Now Dawson Price lines up as a split in near side. They like to take some home run shots to him, 2 or 3 a game. Miller runs it right off the back of Torillo, gets across the 40 and down to the 43. He runs hard. He's hard to bring down at 220 pounds. And to bring him down by the feet that time was Mark Phillips. They'll spot at the 43, gain of 6. And it's going to bring up 3rd down and 3. Boy, turnovers. Really, you've got 2 of them officially, but the muff kick pretty much gives you a 3rd turnover. And it's just the same start we saw last week, or you saw last week, Dave, at South Harrison.
Yeah, the difference is at this point in South Harrison, we were down 24-0. Or 18-0, I'm sorry.
Quarterback zone read right up the middle. First down to Moore for Miller. Across the 40 at Tucker and down to the 36. The zone read fooled the defense. The linebackers froze, and that opened up the seam off the left hash right over the guard. And big run for Mason Miller down to the 36 at Tucker. 21 yards on the carry.
Big run there, the biggest one of the game so far for East Hardy.
Okay. Chocolate milk. West Virginia dairy farmers encouraging you to power your potential with chocolate milk, the official beverage of West Virginia high school sports. And we wish all participants good luck in today's event. Into the first quarter, our score, East Hardy 6, Tucker County nothing. Stay tuned, our second quarter is next right after this. This TuckerCountySports.com broadcast live on the Tucker County High School football and basketball YouTube page is being brought to you by St. George Medical Clinic, Riccatelli Fencing and Lumber Company, Kidwell Auto Parts, Bob Gutshaw, Cortland Acres, The Nature of Care, Mountain Valley Bank, Sirianni's Cafe, Specialized Podiatry Care, and by The Paint Store. And now back to more exciting Mount Lion action right here on TuckerCountySports.com. And we're back here Chris George, Dave Helmick with you. R.H. Armstrong Memorial Field, Class of 84 Alumni Stadium. And Tucker seeing deja vu all over again just 6 days later. Fortunately, they're down only 6.
Yeah, Chris. I mean, it's crazy. They're shooting themselves in the foot. And credit East Hardy, they're doing what they need to do to win this game, and that's step in front of these pass plays for Tucker and intercept it.
First down 10 at the Mount Line 36. And fake handoff to Strawman. There's a deep ball down the far sideline for Price, and it carries him out of bounds, incomplete. There's one of the deep balls to Price we talked about. Fortunately, this ball for Miller sails out of bounds. McAllister over there on coverage.
Yeah, that's the danger of loading the box, trying to stop the run. Is you outnumber them in one spot, but they have a chance to beat you long. And
Ashton Hashlacker has been quiet so far, their leading receiver on the year. He lines up as a split end near side and a twin set near side, single receiver right. They got a tight end to the right as well. Actually, he's going to motion to the right, and that's Dellinger. Miller in the gun, 2nd and 10. He runs right off the back of Strawderman across the 30 and down to the 28. Mason Miller in that quarterback ISO play.
7-yard gain.
And that's what he does. They use the running back, whether it's Trillo or Strawderman, as a lead blocker there. It's called a quarterback isolation run play.
Already up to 69 yards rushing for Mason Miller.
2nd down and check that. Yeah, it is 3rd down and 2. Yeah, 3rd down and 2 is the official down and distance. Twins left, single receiver, Price to the right. Miller hands it off to Strawderman. He gets hit in the backfield and dropped for a loss. And say hello to Tucker County's defensive lineman, Hayden Smith, in there on the stop.
Yeah, good job by Hayden, and they shot the gaps. Got there about the time the ball did to Strawderman, and a big loss there. Back to the 30.
Well, how about Hayden Smith providing depth up front? Good job there by the senior Smith. They're going to go for it. 4th down and 4. It's a loss of 2 on that. Trips left, single receiver right. You got to think Miller's going to call his own number here. They go back to the quarterback ISO. They don't. It's going to be a pass. Miller has time. Throws a deep ball. It's a wobbly duck, and it's going to be tipped and nearly picked off. In fact, it would have been intercepted by Tucker County, but it was Haslacker that came in there and played defense on that to knock it out of Blake Adams' hands and falls to the ground incomplete. How about this Tucker County defense? They've been big in this first half.
They have, but that was a smart play there. You don't want to intercept that pass because then you get the ball down there inside the 5. Now you have the ball at the 30. So a great field possession play. Not sure if it was on purpose, but
we'll thank Haslacker for that, right?
4th and 4, you don't want to intercept the pass down next to your end zone.
That's true. Well, let's thank Haslacker for coming back and knocking that one down.
The 3rd turnover on downs stop for Tucker County defense.
Okay, this Tucker County offense has scored in bunches this year. They need one now. 5-man box and motion up front. Looks like the slot receiver, Blake Adams, moved early.
Yeah.
Sammy DeMarco from Shinston. Some call him the man of Shinston. That ball, false start against the offense. And they're going to give it actually to the running back Reel, who moved before Adams did. Nonetheless, it's 5 yards, and they'll move it back to the 25. It'll be 1st and 15. These are just little things you can't have happen, especially on 1st down.
You don't want it behind the sticks in your own territory.
It's a 2-deep zone for East Tardy, and they're playing man-off on the receivers both ways. And the linebacker and safety are playing the slots. They're going to hand it up the middle. It's Reel. Nice hard run by Reel, the sophomore. He gets forward progress down to the 31-yard line. Give him 6 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, nice run there by Jared Reel.
Again, that East Tardy front 4 is strong. One of the guys in there for the Cougars on the stop. There he is again, Justin Parker, number 59 on your screen, the left end. He's a dandy. 8 sacks, leads the team in that category.
Mark it up to the 31.
5-man box. A screen set up. It's caught, and it's going to be Levi Bennett across the 30 to the 35. Has the first down at the 40 and tackle to the Mount Line 42. Good job, Levi Bennett, the senior.
Yeah, and he's been doing that, Chris. Has caught some screens, has done a good job. Levi Bennett playing football for his first time, I believe, in high school. So done a good job for this Tucker County team this year.
Gain of 11, 1st and 10. They're going to mark it back to the 41. So my apologies, gain of 10, but still, it's a first down. Twin receivers left, twin to the right. Shotgun formation. They're going to send Adams in motion, orbit motion behind the quarterback Rosenall. Pump fake left. He'll throw a deep ball down the left sideline for Maddox Anderson. He had it, and it was hit hard by Haslacker on the far side, and he drops it incomplete. Dave, you saw some possible holding over there.
Yeah, the Maddox tried to turn out of that route, and he was grabbed and pulled. No call there. Luckily for East Hardy, that was not a penalty because it definitely affected Maddox Anderson getting to that ball, and they do not drop the flag. The referee did drop his hat, which is a sign that they ran out of bounds, but they discussed it. So
what East Hardy's doing this two-deep zone, the safeties are playing pretty much double coverage on the outside receivers. That time the corner who plays off on the far side, the safety went over there to get it to, but a great stick there by Haslacker forced the incomplete. And they're going to run it up the middle with Real, and Real gets across the 45 and down to about the 45.5-yard line. And in on a stop for the East Hardy Cougars is going to be inside linebacker Mason Miller. He leads the team in tackles, does Miller.
Well, and what's happening, Chris, is East Hardy's giving them a front to run the ball, and Tucker County's doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And
5-man box, you're right.
They're getting some yardage. They just got to be patient here and march it down the field.
3rd down and 6. Over the middle. Caught. First down. Racer Channel again, a big catch for the junior. And he's going to get forward progress to the East Hardy 43-yard line. Gain of, give him a gain of 12 yards on that pass play for Racer Channel, 1st and 10 Tucker. Racer filling in for the injured Trenton Wolfong in this one. Shotgun formation, side guard to the right is McAllister. They'll fake it to McAllister. Rosenall throws a deep ball on a slant. Far side, great play by Dawson Price. He deflects it to the ground, incomplete.
Wow.
Intended for Ashton Licklider at the 8. Beautiful play by the senior Price.
Yes, it was. It was a saving play because if it gets through there, Licklider gets that catch, and that's a big gain.
Boy, that was pretty, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
If he's got an injured knee, you never know it. And he does. He's not 100%. That shows you what kind of a player he is when he is 100%. That was a heck of an athletic play for Dawson Price. 2nd and 10 at the 43. East Hardy shows a little bit more pressure. Potentially, nope. But here comes the pressure. Tucker sets up a screen, and that's caught. And McAllister was probably wise just to drop that. He's going to pull it in, but he's going to lose yardage. That was blown up from the start. Not sure what happened there. As that screenplay was not executed well, and they're going to lose all the way back to the 49. It's a loss of 6.
Wow.
On that, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and 16 for the Mount Lions at the Cougar 49.
Yeah, wide receiver screen there did not work.
No, didn't.
Now Tucker in a hole.
Okay, Rosenall, 3rd and long. Pressure's on, and he's going to throw it away, and that ball barely gets back to the line of scrimmage. Unfortunately, it does by he gets over the line of scrimmage by about a yard or two, and it's going to be ruled as an incomplete pass. Now, remember, folks, on those, you can throw the ball away once you get out of the tackle box, but you got to get it past the line of scrimmage, which he did. Now it's 4th down. They'll have to punt. Promising drive comes up empty.
Yeah, inches away from being in the red zone there. It just goes to show you how close this game is from being one way or the other.
Sammy Marks on the punt. Nice punt for the freshman. It's going to bounce at the 15, take a Tucker roll out of bounds inside the 10, maybe at the 10. Good job by the freshman, Sammy Marks. 7:30 to go, first half. Our score, East Hardy 6, Tucker County nothing. I tell you what, you and I both felt coming in here that this would be more of a high-scoring game, but you know what? 14-13 could be the same score again here.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. You know, everybody kind of gets talking about the offense, and the defense is the one that's actually making the noise here for both teams.
No doubt. Okay, so Tucker's defense is going to have to come up big here as they're going to spot the ball officially at the 11. First down 10. So it would be nice to get a turnover here if you're Tucker. If you're East Hardy, you want to put together a long drive here and try to score before halftime on a long drive. Handoff up the middle. Torillo goes nowhere.
A good blow up there by the Tucker defensive line.
And they'll give him the 10. That's a loss of a yard. So second down and 11 coming up for the Cougs.
Who was the ball carrier?
Torillo.
Okay.
And looks like Dellinger's going to stay out there with a noticeable limp. He lines up as a slot receiver in a trips bunch set to the near side left, bottom of your screen. Miller in the shotgun. He's going to fake it. Zone read, quarterback run off the right side, breaks up the middle, and here comes Mason Miller. First down and more, across the 20 to the 25 and down to the Mount Lion, 29-yard line. And bringing him down on the near side for the Mount Lions was Jacob Barrett. Miller initially ran off the right and then cut back across the middle and ran to the near side and put on his speed there that time. And Mason Miller over 1,000 yards rushing on the season now.
20-yard gain there.
You got it, 20 yards and a first down.
That puts him up to unofficially 89 yards already in this game, rushing.
And that puts him at 1,065 on the year. Torillo lines up a setback to the left. He gets the carry, and right up the middle he goes, and ankle tackled and dropped by the Mount Lions, Jared Reel. And had Reel not brought him down by the ankles, Torillo could have took it to the house. He had a ton of room, thanks to Jared Reel to stop him there at the 36, holds him to a gain of 6, 2nd and 4.
Yeah, biggest run so far for Torillo. All the rest have been 1-yard gains or losses, but there's a nice positive gain for East Hardy on first down.
In the pistol goes Miller. H-back to the left is Dillinger. He looks over a check with me play to the sideline for the play call. Tucker shows blitz. It's a busted play, and they're going to bring him down by the ankles. And there on the stop for Tucker is Reel again. And it was a little bit of a busted play there. And
a favorable spot for East Hardy.
Yeah, it is.
Because he fell down and rolled forward. They give him the roll forward, and he gains positive yardage.
He had 2 yards, and it's going to bring up third down and about 2.5. They need to get just across the 40 for the first down. H-back, wing left. Dellinger. Quarterback Miller right off the right side, and forward progress is going to get him the first down as he spins his way into the arms of Levi Pennington, but not enough for a Cougar first down. Molnex also assisted on the stop, spot the ball at the 43, gain of 5. Well, I talked about a long scoring drive when they were started at their own 11, and right now 4:45 and turning, and they're doing that as we speak. I think they want to try to play keep away from Tucker here, and they're doing it as we speak. Tucker playing a 2-deep zone, 7 in the box. And they're going to set up a screen. Far side caught by Dawson Price at the 40. It's a wide receiver screen across the 45 and down to the 47 of East Hardy. And he's going to net 4 on that, 2nd and 6.
The first completion of the game, I believe.
So Miller faked a pass to the near side to Haslacker and then came back to the wide receiver screen far side to Price. He also had a running back in there as well as an option underneath of Price. 2nd and 6. Twin receivers left, single receiver to the right. Wing right as an H-back is Dellinger. In the gun is Miller. Miller hands off. It's Strawderman off the right side. He runs hard, far side of the field, and he's going to dive forward out of bounds near the sticks. They may mark him out of bounds just shy of the first down at the 49.
Yep, they mark him at the 49 of Tucker.
Gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and a yard. Clock at 3:42 and actually stopped at 3:44. 3:44 stop. They say he was out of bounds. Quarterback ISO right up the middle. Mason Miller, and he's going to have the first down as he rumbles and stumbles his way down to the 41. Gain of 8. That quarterback ISO play has been one of their favorite plays to call with Miller, and that's simply just taking the running back as a lead blocker right through the middle on either gap between either guard or center gap.
That puts him over 100 yards. His 13th carry so far this game already.
8-man box for Tucker. Single high safety is Anderson. And they'll hand it off to Strauderman off one tackle, and then he meets resistance and dropped by the Mount Lions. Mark Phillips and also Racer Channel bring him down at the 39. Gain of 2.
2-yard gain there. Good D by Tucker. Clogging that middle up. They got to do a lot more of that here. They got to get a stop here.
Yeah,
he's already scored here before the half.
You're seeing more 8-man box from Tucker with a single high safety now, and that single high safety is a good one in Maddox Anderson. So they know they got to try to take away this run game. 2:40 to go here in turning first half. 6-0 East Hardy. 2nd down 8. At the Tucker 39. Quarterback fakes the run, and he's tripped up and dropped by Owen Knotts at the line of scrimmage for no gain. 6'5" Owen Knotts on the stop.
A good job there by Tucker to stall that up and force him here to a 3rd and 8.
Levi Pennington checks out of the game. 3rd down, call it 8 at the Mount Lion 39. 7-man box for the Mount Lions. Wing right, Dellinger. In the gun is Miller. Quarterback right up the middle off the running back. And the isolation play gets him a yard or two. Give him the 38. Good job by Tucker.
Yeah, Jared Reel and Racer Channel there to bring him down.
4th down coming up, and it'll be 4th and 8. Or check that, 4th and 7 to the 38 and timeout Tucker.
Yeah, 1-yard gain there on that run.
1:44 to go in this first half, 6-0 Cougars.
And while we have a chance here, we'll give them another public service announcement from the WVSSAC. And what we'll say is the West Virginia Secondary School Athletic Commission serves its 286 member schools and their students by providing leadership and support for the conduct of education-based athletics, which enrich the educational experience of all participants. Are reasons why. Secondary School Activities Commission promotes athletes that provide lifelong and life-quality learning experiences to high school students while enhancing their achievement of educational goals. Are reasons why the WVSSAC. So 1:44 left. East Hardy burns a timeout here, Chris, just to save some clock. Still have a couple more timeouts, so the run is still there. We'll see what they drawed up here in the huddle.
6-man box from Mount Lions. Now Tucker playing of 2 deep high safeties here on 4th down and 7. Miller drops the pass, looks right, throws right the entire time, and short of his intended receiver on the far side of the field. That was Eli Mathias.
Wow.
Incomplete, 1st down Tucker.
Another turnover on downs. 1, 2, 3, 4 turnover on downs. Just Tucker County defense. It's crazy.
You know, I thought Racer Channel had a chance to break on that and intercept it and take it to the house, but the ball was thrown so short it hit the ground in front of him. He read the pass, but there was no way he could have caught up to it. Okay, Tucker has 1:40 to go. That's doable. 2 timeouts remaining, which is doable. See if they can get some points. Maddox Anderson's only been targeted twice tonight. Trips left, single receiver right. Rosenall in the gun, the junior quarterback. Fakes the handoff. He's going to run with it. He's going to be hit and drop for very little on the play. In there on the stop for East Tardy is going to be J.B. Shipe again. He's been their tackling machine in this first half. Spot the ball at the line of, give him the 38. We'll be kind. 2nd and 9.
Tucker in no hurry here.
Yeah, 1:13 and turning. Tucker does get the football to start the second half. And that may be in the back of Coach Rapp's mind because he doesn't want to see another turnover here. 2 deep zone for the Cougars. 5-man box. They're going to hand it off. It's Rio, and just not enough blocking up front. Rio takes it to the 40-yard line. East Tardy is controlling the line of scrimmage defensively in the run game. 2 yards for Rio. 3rd and 7 coming up. And that's been the story. We cannot get anything going on the ground. Their 5-man box has really done a job. And
if you're East Tardy here, you may want to burn time out making punt here.
Yeah. I mean, they already had one punt muffed earlier.
Tucker running this thing all the way down, but if they don't
3rd
get the
and
first
7.
down here, East Tardy's going to have the option to make him punt.
25 seconds to go. Tucker in no hurry. Back to passes. Rosenau. Will he take a deep shot? He will. Downfield and incomplete. Far side, Blake Adams, the intended receiver, and Adams double covered on the far side in that 2 deep zone. And it's 4th down with 15 seconds to go, and they will have to punt. And we got to execute the long snap here to the punter, Sammy Marks, the freshman. Ashton Haslacker deep for the Cougars. He'll stand as his own 30 to possibly return this kick from Sam Marks, who had a nice punt his last time
Punted
out.
Out of bounds.
Good snap, and the kick is off the side of Marks' foot out of bounds and right around midfield.
We'll take it.
But it's going to give East Tardy 9 seconds here to try to throw a couple deep balls, you would think.
9 seconds left.
And they're going to spot this ball in Mount Lions territory officially at the 47-yard line? No, 48-yard line. 1st and 10.
Of Tucker.
That was an 8-yard punt, Dave.
Yeah, I'm sure Coach Rapp told him to punt out of bounds, and he got angled wrong, and you know how that goes when you're a young punter. You get lined up wrong. And
that's a lot of pressure on that young man.
Yes, it is. You punt it deep there, though, the risk there of him running it back is far greater than punting it out of bounds here and playing defense for 9 seconds.
Receiver on the bottom of your screen is Dawson Price. Keep an eye on him. He's 6'3", and he can jump. Miller's going to go the opposite way, and he throws complete to the slot receiver Haslacker for the first down across the 25 and down to the 20-yard line. Inside the 20, finally brought down. They'll mark him. So, little slant route over the middle to Haslacker, their leading receiver on the season. And 2 seconds to go. Clock stops on the first down.
And they call a timeout.
Yeah, they call a timeout, which I don't blame them. And they'll spot the football officially at the 17-yard line.
That's a big play right there.
Yeah. 31 yards on the pass play.
Yeah, and their first significant pass play of the game.
They don't have...
Just their second completion.
Dawson Price is their field goal kicker. He has the leg to kick it, but the accuracy's always been a question.
Well, you know, right here's where you really could just try it. I mean, that's probably better than throwing it in the end zone here for a jump ball, but nonetheless, we'll see what they come up with here. Timeout.
You've got to be careful here because they could always run Miller as everybody's falling back to the end zone here and just run Miller right at him, and you got to come up and tackle him with Miller having the forward momentum here. So you got to be careful of a quarterback run here.
Yeah, that's where that completion was huge. If you get a short completion on that down, you know, pretty much the half's over. They're going to try to kick it here.
Yeah, they're going to kick it. Dawson Price. This will be from the 24-yard line. 34-yard attempt at the post to the left. Dawson Price, the senior, has the leg to get it there, but does he have the accuracy? We will see. 34-yard field goal at the horn here. Snap is good. Hold is down. He slips and falls, and the kick is no good.
And that'll end the half.
Yep, that'll end the half.
Coming up on our halftime we'll have a special halftime sponsor for our halftime show. We're going to thank our halftime sponsor, which is the Spectacle Family Eye Care and also the Grove Cafe and Bakery in Petersburg. We'll be back with our halftime show after these messages here on TuckerCountySports.com.
This TuckerCountySports.com broadcast live on the Tucker County High School football and basketball YouTube page is being brought to you by Pat A. Nichols, attorney at law, proud to support Tucker County Sports. Jim's All-Star, hot food, cold beverages, and gas. Mike Rosenall, your Tucker County Commissioner, wishing all Tucker County High School Mountain Lions a safe and successful season. Atkins Home Center in Southern States of Parsons. Fargo Insurance Group, Tucker County's nationwide insurance agent. Mr. Pizza of Parsons, home of the Mr. Big, more than just pizza, try our subs, salads, and wings. Robert Estates Incorporated, serving all of your general contracting needs. United Financial Service, auto, life, and commercial insurance plus annuities. Grand Slam Grill, visit us for one of our signature burgers and fresh cut fries. St. George Medical Clinic, locations in St. George, Parsons, and Canaan Valley. This TuckerCountySports.com broadcast is also being brought to you by Riccatelli Fencing and Lumber Company, your local rustic fence provider. Kidwell Auto Parts, with locations in Parsons and Thomas. Bob Gutshaw, your local State Farm insurance agent. Cortland Acres, the nature of care. Choose us for your long-term care, rehab, and therapy needs. Mountain Valley Bank, locations in Parsons, Elkins, and Mill Creek. Sirianni's Cafe, with locations in Davis and Canaan Valley. Specialized Podiatry Care, located at Davis Medical Center in Elkins. And by the Paint Store, your Benjamin Moore supplier in Thomas and Morgantown. And now back to more exciting Tucker County action right here on TuckerCountySports.com.
Back here at R.H. Armstrong Memorial Field, class of 1984 stadium, and welcome in to the Spectacle Family Eye Care halftime show. The Spectacle Family Eye Care is owned and operated by Dr. Cheryl Bennett, Tucker County native and 1993 TCHS graduate. The Eye Care was founded in 2017. There are 3 locations in Buchanan, Petersburg, and Flatwoods. They provide medical and routine eye care services to all communities. Schedule your next eye appointment with the Spectacle Family Eye Care. And Chris, this game, 6-0, East Hardy leading. And if you would probably place some bets on this game, you probably would not have guessed it would be a defensive game.
No, and that's what it was the first time around these two teams played. But the difference in this game is the line of scrimmage. East Hardy has owned the line of scrimmage up front. They're playing a 5-man box. That's 4 down linemen and 1 backer, and that's it. And they have owned the line of scrimmage. Tucker County struggling to run the ball, struggling to give Rosenall enough time to complete those deep balls downfield, and that's been the difference in this game. Plus, Tucker County's had some decent drives, but they have been unable to sustain those drives into points. East Hardy forced a couple early Tucker County turnovers. The one that wasn't a turnover was a muff punt, resulted into 6 points, and that's why they're up 6-0.
Which they started at the 9.
Yeah, they started at the 9-yard line. But
Tucker.
Let's credit Tucker's defense, though. That's what's kept Tucker in this game, has been the stellar play of their defense, as their defensive line has owned the line of scrimmage on the defensive side of the football. So the reason this game is 6-0, the defensive lines for both teams are winning this game, period.
They are, and it's amazing, but it's almost deja vu of when they played before. Tucker County was a bend not break defense in that game. They gave up yardage, didn't give up scores, kind of similar to tonight, and hung around and got when the score and when they needed it. So, how long can your defense do this for you if you're Tucker County? Because, they have gave up some big yards. That last pass play was 31 yards. They've give up some big plays, over 3 20-yard runs by Miller, but the Tucker County defense still just held them to 6 points.
I think in the second half, this Tucker County coaching staff needs to try to find a way to get Maddox Anderson the ball out in space, whether it's a little 5-yard hitch route or whatever it might be. Get the ball out of Rosenall's hands quick and getting the ball into Maddox Anderson's hands because he has the speed to take a 5-yard hitch into a 20-yard gain or more.
Yeah, and then, you got this game that,
He's only had 2 passes targeted his way, Dave.
No catches for Maddox Anderson. The closest he's got to the ball has been the deflections he's had on defense against East Hardy's receivers. So a good job by East Hardy keeping one of Tucker County's biggest playmakers out of the game, and it's the reason they're leading 6-0.
Mason Miller has been a stud in the first half. We knew what he was, and he's showing us why he is a 1,000-yard rusher from the quarterback position, over 100 yards in the first half.
Yeah, unofficially 105 yards for Miller in that first half. We'll get to the stats later, but, just similar in the total yards as the stats, but it just feels like East Hardy's had more opportunities on Tucker's side of the field, where it seems like Tucker, every time they've had the ball, it's been on their side of the field, and they've not been able to win that field position battle.
And that's where the turnovers come into play. And that's exactly what happened there. And credit East Hardy, they forced those turnovers. They did a good job stepping in front of passes and intercepting and reading the eyes of the quarterback, Rosenall. East Hardy 6, Tucker County nothing here at the break. And, Dave, let's take a look at the scoreboard. We do have a couple games tonight in the state of West Virginia besides here in Parsons. There's a big game in Class AAA tonight between Musselman and Wheeling Park, which, by the way, is another rematch of a game played earlier this year at Wheeling Island Stadium up in Wheeling. And take a look at the score there quickly. And it's a good one. Second quarter in Bunker Hill. It's Musselman and Wheeling Park tied at 7. And wow. that is, it's going to be an interesting game. This is a battle of two teams that play almost very similar. They spread the field. They got athletes all over the place. The only difference is Musselman has a quarterback in Baden Miller that likes to run the football. And 7-7. Last time these teams played, Wheeling Park jumped out to a huge lead and held on to win that game going away. And Musselman's hanging in there.
Yeah, I mean, we go to the playoffs here, and they should be, other than the 1 and 2, 16 versus 17, 16, 17 teams, most of these other games are going to be close, just like tonight. This game, Tucker County and East Hardy tie, or 6-0, or East Hardy leading. Same thing with the Musselman game, very tight game, and that's what the playoffs is all about. So, we'll stay tuned. A busy day, a busy night tomorrow, and it's going to be in the rain as a lot of these games being played tomorrow night, and a few scattered out to Saturday as the Bridgeport will host Cabell Midland Saturday evening. Chris will be on that game with Travis Jones.
And one more score tonight, AA. Number 9, Herbert Hoover leads number 8, Clay County. No surprise here, 21-6 Huskies. And one of the reasons why Hoover finished 7-2, they had some injuries at the beginning of the year. This very well could be an undefeated Hoover team. They're pretty good.
Yeah, and, Hatfield boys.
Not bad.
Very good. Went to school with Kevin, their dad, at Fairmont State. So know that family, know those kids are athletes on the football field. They're athletes on the basketball court. And they're impacting things there at Herbert Hoover. All right, we're going to pause on this halftime show, the Spectacle Family Eye Care halftime show. We'll be back after these messages here on TuckerCountySports.com.
This TuckerCountySports.com broadcast live on the Tucker County High School football and basketball YouTube page is being brought to you by Pat A. Nichols, attorney at law, proud to support Tucker County Sports. Jim's All-Star, hot food, cold beverages, and gas. Mike Rosenall, your Tucker County Commissioner, wishing all Tucker County High School Mountain Lions a safe and successful season. Atkins Home Center in Southern States of Parsons. Fargo Insurance Group, Tucker County's nationwide insurance agent. Mr. Pizza of Parsons, home of the Mr. Big, more than just pizza, try our subs, salads, and wings. Robert Estates Incorporated, serving all of your general contracting needs. United Financial Service, auto, life, and commercial insurance plus annuities. Grand Slam Grill. Visit us for one of our signature burgers and fresh cut fries. St. George Medical Clinic, locations in St. George, Parsons, and Canaan Valley. This TuckerCountySports.com broadcast is also being brought to you by Riccatelli Fencing and Lumber Company, your local rustic fence provider. Kidwell Auto Parts, with locations in Parsons and Thomas. Bob Gutschall, your local State Farm insurance agent. Cortland Acres, the nature of care. Choose us for your long-term care, rehab, and therapy needs. Mountain Valley Bank, locations in Parsons, Elkins, and Mill Creek. Sirianni's Cafe, with locations in Davis and Canaan Valley. Specialized Podiatry Care, located at Davis Medical Center in Elkins. And by the Paint Store, your Benjamin Moore supplier in Thomas and Morgantown. And now back to more exciting Tucker County action right here on TuckerCountySports.com.
And welcome back to R.H. Armstrong Memorial Field, class of 1984 stadium. Welcome back into the Spectacle Family Eye Care halftime show. The Spectacle Family Eye Care is owned and operated by Dr. Cheryl Bennett, Tucker County native and 1993 TCH graduate. There's 3 locations in Buchanan, Petersburg, and Flatwoods. Schedule your next eye appointment with the Spectacle Family Eye Care. And Chris, with this segment, let's talk a little bit about what's coming. As basketball season is upon us, and the boys basketball starts officially on Monday. Girls got started this week, but let's talk a little bit about this because we're going to have some basketball games for everybody here on the high school YouTube page here when the season rolls around, and a lot of boys basketball players out here on the football field. Talk a little bit about this talent that this Tucker County team is going to have back from their Final Four appearance last year, a loss in the semifinals to Greater Beckley Christian. A lot of talent for Daniel Helmick's disposal on this team.
All the names we've talked about, Maddox Anderson, Trent Wolfong, who's not playing tonight,
Ashton
Licklider, Owen Knotts, the Bonner kid who was a freshman last year, who's now a sophomore. Yeah, and this basketball team has a chance to not only get to Charleston but do some damage. But they've got to have that mentality, and they're going to have to do the dirty things as well. They're going to have to. Not only we know they can score points, but to continue to defend the ball as well as they did last year, and I think even more so this year because that defense can even lead to more easy baskets and stuff, and they've got the talent.
A couple names we probably didn't think of: Levi Bennett, Aaron Quattro, some guys that come in and really shoot the ball well. Levi Bennett playing football also. We talked about this also with some people. Every time Tucker County's football team has done well, there's been a great influence of basketball players on that team, and that reigns true tonight or this season, as there's a bunch of basketball players playing football. And talk a little bit about, Chris, how that translates to success on the football field. But we all know it actually transcends to success on the basketball floor as well.
Well, I've always told kids, especially at the single A level, to try to play multiple sports, not only for your school but for yourself because, single A school, you need your best athletes out there. But what it also does, Jeffrey Snyder is an example I have. Jeffrey Snyder played football late in his career, and that helped him in basketball. Look how strong he got in basketball. And also, if you play basketball – with the athletic ability you have, like a Maddox Anderson and company, and Trent Wolfong, and Licklider, who's now playing football again, who didn't last year, bring us to the football field. It helps your football team out with athletes out in space. So the two sports go hand in hand quite well, and that's why, Tucker County, the football team's so successful, and the basketball team was last year, because those kids got stronger from football, and it helps hand in hand both ways.
Yeah, it does, and this this Tucker County basketball team going to be a handful, and unlike the football team, who I believe has overachieved this year for Tucker County, the stakes are really high for the basketball team. They've already kind of got their feet wet with Charleston, won a game. They're going to be expected to, possibly play on Saturday come March.
They are where the football team was last year. See what I'm saying? Yes. The basketball team last year is doing what the football team is doing this year.
Right.
So you're thinking the football team next year is where the basketball team is going to be this winter coming up.
Yeah, and obviously single A with the 4 class, you got to think Tucker County's got to be right there in the mix as one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the state. And nonetheless, we'll find that out here soon.
Let's talk about some second half adjustments here, Dave.
Before you do that, let me say that was the Spectacle Family Eye Care halftime show. We're gonna switch gears here and go into the Grove Cafe Bakery keys to the third quarter and beyond. And Chris, go ahead and start that. Keys to the third quarter, sponsored by the Grove Cafe and Bakery in Petersburg.
Maddox Anderson's had 2 targets his way, and what East Hardy's doing right now is playing a 2-deep zone, and Anderson's lined up as a split end to either far side left or far side right, okay? So we're running a lot of deep routes of Anderson right now. So really the only way to fit that ball in is between the corner and safety. That's a hard thing to do. We did that earlier, and that's where Haslacker came up with a big hit to lodge the ball out incomplete. So I think in the second half, if you want to move Anderson to the slot and maybe try to get him over the middle, because the weakness in the 2-deep zone is over the middle, underneath the safeties and behind the backers, and that would be a point right there. Or just getting the ball out in space on a 5-yard hitch, because how many times this year have you seen Anderson take a 5-yard hitch and turn it into a 60-yard touchdown? I'm not saying that's going to happen in this game, but still, it's a way to get your ball into the hands of your best receiver who has the athletic ability and speed to do something with it. But you've got to keep running the football because that's going to keep this defense honest. If you don't run the football, even running just a little bit is going to keep them from putting pressure on the quarterback, Ethan Rosenall. Racer Channels had a big first half because he's the one that's gotten into this middle of this two deep zone defense from the slot receiver position and has had a couple big catches for first down.
Yeah, and then switch gears for East Hardy. They just got to keep doing what they're doing. You got to pound the ball and try to not get behind the sticks. Really, it seems like when East Hardy struggled offensively, it's been they've got behind the sticks either with a penalty or a negative play, and then they've had to throw it, which they haven't had a great amount of success with. So, for East Hardy, on the other hand, Chris, what's their keys to this second half in your opinion?
Well, it's simple. East Hardy has Mason Miller. He's over 1,000 yards on the season. He's probably going to carry the ball 15, 20 times in the second half. If you're Coach Orndorff, you want to put the ball in his hands. Anytime you have not run the ball with Miller and handed it off, they haven't done anything in the conventional run game. Tucker's playing a 7, sometimes 8-man box.
He's already carried it 15 times in the first half. He may go over 30 carries.
Thing about the quarterback run game, it's hard to load up on a quarterback unless you really overload the box. But you've got to, if you're Coach Orndorff, you've got to continue to run the ball. Similar to that last drive they had when they got the ball at their own 11-yard line. They took a ton of time off the clock. They didn't score, but Tucker wasn't able to do much of the football. They're leading 6-0. They got to learn to play. They will play with the lead unless Tucker does something with it here to start the second half, and that's their job is to play with the lead they got now and take time off that clock. But keep an eye on Dawson Price. They've thrown one deep ball his way. And the only big reception really in the first half for them is Haslacker's catch over the middle there late in the second quarter. But
Tucker kind of maybe in a prevent defense maybe, but they did get a big play there, 31 yards. This third quarter adjustments has been and preview has been brought to you by the Grove Cafe and Bakery, located in historic downtown Petersburg. The Grove Cafe opened in 2021, October of 21. They offer specialty coffees, pastries, fresh brunch daily. The 1856 Cottage Cafe gives the option for catering services for on- and off-site events. The Grove Cafe is owned by Cheryl Bennett, TCHS alumni. Visit the Grove Cafe and Bakery on your next trip to Petersburg.
One thing I'll say, and you see it in middle school a lot because teams play twice down there a ton. You see it here. It's hard to play a team in the postseason a second time that you've already played during the regular season. You know each other so well, it makes it hard. And I think that's one of the reasons why this is a 6-0 game.
Yeah, it almost looks like it's actually a coaching struggle at times. But nonetheless, we're about ready to get things underway. We want to take this time to thank St. George Medical Clinic for providing the video of all the games this season for the football team here at home at R.H. Armstrong Memorial Field, class of 1984 stadium. And we appreciate St. George Medical Clinic and all they do for the people of Tucker County. Also want to thank the sponsors for TuckerCountySports.com, who have been, some of them, Chris, has been aboard since the beginning. And this is going to floor you, but we've been doing this for 11 years. TuckerCountySports.com has been alive and well, and some of these sponsors that's with me and Chris, because it's kind of a joint adventure for us, is they've been here since the beginning, and I appreciate their support. They've seen how much this is good for Tucker County, and they've actually came aboard, stayed aboard, and supported all the way.
Yeah, it's you're just dating me even more here, Dave. I mean, I'm 45 and it seems like I'm 55. But yeah, you're right. It's been a pleasure. We want to thank all those great sponsors. Yeah, and then, of course, TuckerCountySports.com does a great job updating all the other sports on campus here at Tucker County High School throughout the school calendar year, and that's a good thing to keep other sports for people to see what's going on there as well.
Yeah, and if some of you haven't tuned in, we had the cross-country coaches on the last couple games at halftime. The cross-country team made it to the States with the girls and the boys. Some girls qualified. The boys team qualified. Volleyball team had a pretty good year. So a lot of things going on. Basketball getting ready to kick in gear. And if you're interested in getting on the sponsorship for TuckerCountySports.com, get on the website. Find the email there and shoot the email down to us, and we'll get you hooked up and on the air for the broadcast and website ads. As we wrap up this third quarter preview, and as I say one more time, tell you it's sponsored by The Grove Cafe and Bakery, located in the historic downtown Petersburg. Visit The Grove and Bakery Cafe next time you go to Petersburg for their special coffees, pastries, and fresh brunch daily.
Speaking of Petersburg, they're in the playoffs. 16
yes.
seed.
And when's the last time Petersburg's been to the playoffs?
It's been a long time.
It's been the 80s, I believe. So
been a long time for the Vikings.
Late 80s, I believe. Don't quote me on that. But anyway.
Bumpy Van Meter, good quarterback there. Good luck to them.
Yep, good luck to them. Tucker County trailing at the half. He started leading at 6-0. We'll pause 30 seconds and be back with the start of the second half here on TuckerCountySports.com.
This TuckerCountySports.com broadcast live on the Tucker County High School football and basketball YouTube page is being brought to you by Pat A. Nichols, attorney at law, Jim's All-Star, Mike Rosenall, your Tucker County Commissioner, Fargo Insurance Group, Atkins Home Center in Southern States of Parsons, Mr. Pizza of Parsons, Robert Estates Incorporated, United Financial Service, and Black Grand Slam Grill. And now back to more exciting Mountain Lion action right here on TuckerCountySports.com.
All right, we're back here. Dave Helmick, Chris George with you here at R.H. Armstrong Memorial Field, class of 1984 stadium, getting ready to start the third quarter. Also want to remind everybody, stay tuned. Don't turn us off. We have a post-game after the game, regardless what the result is. And our post-game is sponsored by Accurate Auto Estimators and Collision Repair in Parsons. And want to thank those sponsors for coming on, helping us get this game on the air for you. Pretty hefty payment to live feed the stream of this game. Not going to go into those details because I don't want to be negative Nancy here, but nonetheless, we're ready to start this third quarter, Chris, and he started leading 6-0. I got some stats here real quick. Go ahead.
I'll give a shout-out to Shane Eckel, current East Fairmont coach. Congratulations to him on a wonderful season, and good luck on his.
Good job, Coach.
Yep, good luck on their game with Scott here coming up. And
first time they've been in the playoffs in how long? Probably 80s for them, too, right?
A long time, but he did say that 2018 was the last year Petersburg made the playoffs. So
okay.
I wasn't aware of that. They were AA at that time.
All right, well, real quickly, East Hardy had 118 yards rushing, 36 yards passing for a total of 154. Tucker County had 26 yards rushing, 45 yards passing for a total of 72. That's your total yards and your yardage unofficial for that first half.
Dawson Price to kick it off, and it's going to be a short kick. It's going to bounce and go out of bounds. Good decision there on the far side of the field for Tucker County's Jacob Barrett to let that roll out of bounds. The Mountain Lions will take over 1st and 10 right around their 40-yard line, unless they want to force East Hardy to re-kick and move them back 5 yards. Let's see. And it looks like... Sorry, it's going to be, I keep thinking the college rule. What's high school, what's a 35-yard line? That's what they'll take it 1st and 10.
Out of bounds, yeah.
In high school football, that illegal touching on an onside kick attempt in high school is not a penalty. It's a beanbag. So we learned that in the Princeton-Bridgeport game earlier this year. So, and at the other levels, it is a flag for illegal touching.
Yeah, the rule in high school that just baffles me is that not an automatic first down for any of the 15-yard penalties like pass interference or personal foul.
Trips rights.
That's baffling.
Single receiver left. Fake the inside handoff. I'll dump it off. And there you go. Getting the ball in space to Maddox Anderson. And he's going to take it up to the near sideline to 40, 30,
See ya.
20.
See ya.
15.
Oh, man.
10, 5 into the end zone. Touchdown, Maddox Anderson.
Sorry, got in your way.
Yeah. You get a little excited. That's fine. Is Maddox Anderson, the wide receiver screen to the near side. They got
what'd you say?
Yeah. Got it to him in space.
It's like they're listening to us, Chris. You told them what they need to do. First play of the game, a little bubble screen out here to the right. Maddox Anderson makes 3 people miss and then turns on those jets and takes it to the house.
65 yards for the touchdown.
Wow. Just like that, this game is tied.
Yeah, we talked about it. You just got to get the ball in his hands. They'll go for 2 to try to take the lead. Score tied at 6 here. McAllister in there as the lone running back. They'll send Anderson in motion as a slot receiver out to the left. Rosenall drops the pass. Throws left corner of the end zone. Deflected to the ground. Incomplete. 2-point conversion fails. Blocked to the ground there by Ashton Haslacker, who was underneath the coverage of Maddox Anderson. So 6-6, Tucker County scores on their first drive to start the second half.
Yeah, and what fireworks right out of the locker room, Chris, and wow. I mean, that's just what you cannot close your eyes or blink with this Tucker County team. I mean, you know, it looked like they were dead in the water, nothing brewing. And you throw a little behind the line of scrimmage pass, really. And Maddox Anderson, what a play. I mean, not only just to outrun everybody, but how he skirted by those 3 guys is just like magic.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you got to do is get the ball in his hands. He's faster than anybody on the football field here tonight. And in most nights.
Yeah, I mean, most nights. I've seen him play against a lot of teams, but I haven't seen too many people catch him yet. So, and he's already seen that the first game, a pass across the middle, Maddox hauled it in at about the 50-yard line and outran 3 people to the end zone there. He really outran 3 guys to the end zone. So good job, Tucker. It's all tied up at 6, and new game. Here we go.
Sam Marks to kick it off. And it's going to be a low kick. It's going to bounce and get by Strauderman. He'll pick it up at the 30, up the far side hash, and no marking down right around the 33-yard line. Stopped over there by the Mount Lions, and one of them in there was Mark Phillips again, the sophomore, on special teams. Okay, official puts it down at the 33, 1st and 10 for the Cougars. Three receivers left, single receiver to the right. In the pistol is Mason Miller. Will line up Strawderman to his right. Or that is Trillo, excuse me. Miller fakes a Trillo, carries it off the right side, has good running room for 1st down and more across the 40 to the 45 and all the way down to midfield.
A good run there by Mason Miller.
Maddox Anderson over there from his free safety position was one of the mount lines in there on the stop.
Yeah, it took 3 mount lines to bring him down, and they'll mark it right at midfield, looks like.
Gain of officially 17 yards on that play and a 1st down. So maybe the second half will be the exact opposite of the first half. So far, it's looking that way. And you just got to figure Mason Miller's number is going to be called 15 or 20 times at least in the second half. At least I would. The wing left is an H-back is Dillinger. They'll send him in motion. And the right tackle moves early.
Yeah, good job there by Tucker. The defender just stood up, never crossed the line, and East Hardy reacted to it.
So false start against the offense. Back them up to the 45, 1st and 15, and those are big.
Yes.
Tucker had a couple of those pre-snap penalties on 1st down in the first half and hurt their drives.
Yeah, back them up 5. Now they'll be looking at 1st and 15. And if we've seen anything in that first half, it was East Hardy didn't play very well when they were behind the sticks. Let's see if East Hardy can figure that out or Tucker exploit it.
Quarterback ISO play right up the middle off the right side, and he's going to get the penalty yardage back and push back right at midfield.
Wow. I thought they had him up here beyond midfield. I was like, man, that's a good spot. But they do mark him right at midfield, right back to the original line of scrimmage there just a few minutes ago.
And you can see Dawson Price is limping out there. Folks, he's playing with a bad knee. I'm not going to tell you how bad it is because you'll be surprised, but we'll just say bad knee. And most football players at any level would not be playing with how bad his knee is, but, hey, that young man is as tough as a nail. 2nd and 10 from midfield. Quarterback keeps. Zone read off the right side. Miller breaks 1, breaks 2 tackles to the far side, and it all depends on the spot of the football and where he stepped out of bounds. And it's going to be right at the marker at the 40-yard line. So it's close to a 1st down. It may be a 1st down. Boy, he's tough. You got to bring him down from the waist down. You can't tackle him high. He'll just brush you off. Gain of 10. And to me, it looks like a 1st down. The nose of the football is on the 40, and the far side sticks are at the 40. And they're going to say 3rd and inches, but to me, it's clearly a 1st down, but we'll take it. 3rd and inches, apparently.
Well, the ball is at the 50. It's at the 40. It's barely short.
And it's touching the 40. Oh, well, we'll take it. Wing to the left. Set back. Torillo lines up to the right of the quarterback Miller. Send Dillinger now in motion to the right. And they'll use both the wing back and the running back as lead blockers as Miller just carries it right over top of them. And the extra blockers work. 1st down for Miller as he powers his way down to the 32-yard line. Give him 8.
A nice run there by Miller.
If you're Tucker, when you see the H-back or wing-back, whatever you want to call him, Dillinger motion to one side, and they line the back up to that side of the quarterback, Miller's going to run over top of them every time. That's just 2 lead blockers there, and they overload that side. It's hard to bring him down.
Yeah, he's hard to bring down, and especially when he's moving with that momentum towards you.
This time they ran a little split zone action up the middle.
Ball's out.
Fumble on the play, and it looks like Tucker may have it as Trillo fumbled the football. And Tucker has it back. And, Dave, could you see who got? Was it Real? Real or
I think
Barrett?
They're patting Jacob Barrett on the head,
yeah.
so I credit Jacob Barrett. But credit, I'm not sure who the tackler was that come in and just ripped it. And out it came. I seen it come out, and I spoke over you. But
what happens when Miller doesn't carry the ball? Bad things for East Hardy and good things for Tucker.
Yeah, but you got to give him a break, Chris. He's wore out.
I wouldn't. You kidding me?
He's getting hit pretty hard a couple times too.
I wouldn't. You're in the playoffs. Do or die here. Back to pass. Is Rose? No, he's going to be hit and sacked.
Man.
Too long for that play to develop. And in there on the sack for East Hardy.
And he hit him.
J.B. Shipe.
He hit him in the head, too, as he tackled him. And I thought that might have been a penalty, the way he grabbed his helmet, but they didn't call it.
Actually, instead of 64, it was 69. Miles Kidwell on the sack. They're going to spot that ball all the way back to the 18-yard line. A loss of 8 on the play. It's going to be 2nd down and 18. That just took too long to develop. You've got to get the ball out quickly if you're Rosenau, because this East Hardy defensive front has owned the line of scrimmage tonight. 2nd and 18, empty set shotgun. That's on the quarterback. Rosenau, he moved early. So this will cost them 5 more yards. Boy, you're shooting yourselves in the foot here after this turnover. This will make it to the 13. It'll be 2nd down and 23.
Yeah, and you had the ball, got the turnover now. You're squandering this possession, and you're putting yourself in a really deep hole here because the ball is back inside your 15. And you got to be careful here.
Trips right. Twin receivers left. Empty set shotgun. 2nd and a mile. And a wide receiver screen to Will McAllister. McAllister at the 15, and he's going to be gang tackled and dropped. And he kind of ran into resistance near side. If he would have kept it up the near side hash and went more north-south, he may have had about 15 or more yards.
Yeah, I think they got to do better, Chris. I'm just sorry. They have to do better with the helmet-to-helmet contact in high school sports. You know, we watch a college game, we watch a pro game. What do? It's all day long. Targeting, is it not targeting? Somehow, some way, and I'm not saying that was one there. I seen it last week when we were at South Harrison. Both of the hits that knocked our players out were helmet-to-helmet hits. We have to do something. These kids are at a vulnerable position in high school sports. They're still growing. Their heads are important. As a rules committee, we got to do something about that. Sorry, I had to say that.
Gain of 5, 3rd down and 18 for Tucker. Twin receivers to both sides. McAllister in there as the lone setback. They bring Blake Adams in motion, or that's Maddox Anderson in motion from right. Hands in the pocket, eludes one, throws over the middle, caught the racer channel, but shy of the 1st down. He ended up dropping the football. That has got to be incomplete. Now, wait a minute. One referee
They're going to call it down.
Yeah, one referee's going to say that Channel pulled it in.
And it come out when he landed, so they're going to give Tucker the play.
Oh, my goodness.
All the way up to the 35-yard line, but it's going to be short. 4th down.
That's a break.
It is a break, but I think it's the right call because I didn't see the ball come out until he did hit the ground. So it's either incomplete or complete. There's no way it could be a fumble.
Gain of 16 yards on that. It will be 4th down. They'll punt.
How many yards? 16?
Mm-hmm. Low snap. Marks picks it up, punts it away.
Nice punt.
And it's going to take a Tucker roll and picked up by Strauderman at the 22-yard line. Comes to the near side, runs right in to a slew of Tucker County defenders, and they're going to give him forward progress to the 26. Good job down there. Levi Bennett was one of them in there on the stop, plus about 2 or 3 other yellow-clad Mountain Lions jerseys. 7:10 to go here, quarter number 3. Our score, East Hardy and Tucker County tied at 6 apiece.
Yeah, and then that drive for Tucker, Chris, just went backwards. Penalties, and, I mean, that was a nice 16-yard gain there to give them some room. But if they don't have those penalties and that sack, that's probably a 1st down there. So
yeah, and it's negative yards on 1st down. That's where Kidwell's big sack on 1st down really hurt that drive. And you saw the 1st down pre-snap penalty against East Hardy hurt them on their last drive. Okay, 1st and 10, Cougars at their own 26. H-back to the right is Dillinger. Split zone, quarterback keep off the near side. He bounces it outside, and he's going to have the 1st down across the 35 and down to the 40-yard line. So now they're using their H-back, and they're kind of going opposite of him. They're going to split the ball down at the 39, gain of 13, a 1st down for Miller.
Yeah, good job there by Miller. Good job blocking there by the wide receiver. Had his hands inside, and they don't call that, Chris. Sometimes they get away with that hold, and that time they got away with it.
The adjustment East Hardy has made in the second half as they're using Dillinger as an H-back every play so far in the third quarter, and they're using him as another blocker. And they're going to hand it off right off the back of the H-back Miller. Off the right side as well goes
Strauderman.
And he's going to get forward progress down to the 42.5-yard line. And they're going to put him down officially at the 43, a gain of 4, 2nd and 6.
Here is Tucker County defense once again being asked to step up and stop East Hardy. And they got a turnover already. Can they force a punt for East Hardy? East Hardy hasn't punt yet.
Hayden Smith checks in for Levi Pennington. Quarterback keep off the near side. And look at Miller breaking tackles across midfield and down to the mountain line. 48 first down Cougars. And a late flag on the play. And this is going to go against Tucker County.
Yeah.
For a late hit.
Yeah, and then initiated from everybody. Tucker County got caught because they were the last ones. But it was a jawing going on for both sides. And then Tucker County gets caught.
So 10 yards on the carry for Miller and tackle on 15 on the personal foul. That's going to take the ball down to the mountain line, 32-yard line.
You can't fall for the bait, right? That's what they always say. Big penalty there.
And you look at Tucker County down there. Marky Phillips turns and yells at the rest of the defense saying, come on, guys, keep your cool. Let's go.
Well, the difference in this game so far in the second half has been Tucker County hasn't kept their cool and East Hardy has. The opposite of when they played the last time.
Well, that shows you the experience of a playoff team like East Hardy, right, Dave? That's the experience factor right there. They send Dillinger in motion to the left, and they're going to run it right off the left side. Quarterback ISO play. First down for the Cougars as powering and spinning his way down inside the 25. They're going to mark him shot. They're going to say his knee down at the 23 was Mason Miller. He'll pick up 9, and it's going to be 2nd and 1. So that's the difference. That's the adjustment they've made. They've used Dillinger as a second lead blocker, and they're overloading to one side, or they're running that split zone to the other with him going to one side and they're running away from him. 2nd and 1. Watch out for a possible pass play here. It's a free down for East Hardy. Wing to the right is Dillinger. Strodeman in there at running back, and they're going to fake it. Right up the middle, Miller, first down and more, inside the 20 and down to the 15 before the mountain lines bring him down there, and that's Hayden Smith.
You needed 1, got 8.
I mean, this is the exact game plan that they should be doing.
That we thought they would do.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody that seen the game before thought maybe they should have done this more last game, and here they are running the ball.
4:25 and turning to go, third quarter, 6-6 the score. Dillinger motions to the left, and they're going to run off the left side, and it's a big run at the 10, at the 5, in the end zone, touchdown, Mason Miller. Touchdown East Hardy from 15 yards out. And that's an adjustment Tucker's going to have to make there. Is East Hardy is really overloading one side of the line, and it's working for him. The quarterback, Miller, scores. It's 12-6, and they'll go for the point after.
Yeah, good job by Mason Miller for a touchdown run there for East Hardy to give them back the lead.
And a new kicker on for the Cougars, and that is Levi Price. And his kick is wide, but we have a flag on the play before the snap. Dead ball. False start against the Cougars, so they'll make it a 25-yard point after attempt.
This is what essentially beat them last time, Chris. Tucker went for 2 both times and got it the second time. East Hardy kicked both times and missed both times. I think maybe how it went. Either way, East Hardy didn't get either extra point opportunity, and that was the result of the 14-13 game.
Well, this is big here because this makes the 25-yard attempt. It's your backup kicker, who is a freshman, Levi Price. We clearly see he has the distance, but the accuracy was way off on the first try.
Dawson Price over here on the sideline.
Yeah, and again, he's been limping pretty bad here in the second half. Okay. Extra point up, high enough, long enough, and it's plenty good enough. Boy, he definitely has the leg. Levi Price converts on the extra point. Our score, 4:15 to go in the third quarter. It's East Hardy 13, Tucker County 6. We'll come back, ensuing kick right after this. This TuckerCountySports.com broadcast live on the Tucker County High School football and basketball YouTube page is being brought to you by St. George Medical Clinic, Riccatelli Fencing and Lumber Company, Kidwell Auto Parts, Bob Gutshaw, Cortland Acres, The Nature of Care, Mountain Valley Bank, Sirianni's Cafe, Specialized Podiatry Care, and by The Paint Store. And now back to more exciting Mountain Lion action right here on TuckerCountySports.com. 4:15 to go. Quarter numero tres. In English, that's 3. And Tucker down now, 7 points, 13-6. And we need to match that last long touchdown drive from the Cougars.
Yeah, East Hardy scores on a 15-yard touchdown run by, guess who? Mason Miller to make this, like Chris said, 13-6, 4:15 left in the third quarter, and Tucker with work to do.
Short kick. Tucker's going to have to come up and field. It's a live football. Gets by Barrett, picked up by Blake Adams, and he slips and falls behind the 20-yard line.
Yeah, that's a mistake by Tucker, not paying attention there. They got to get on that ball sooner, and lucky they didn't turn it over there.
That kickoff came from Damian Dellinger. So Price has seen his kicking duties in for the night. For now, anyways. 19-yard line, 1st and 10.
If you remember right there at the end of the half, he slipped on that kick and fell awkwardly. So hopefully he's all right. But
he's out there playing corner near side. Okay, Tucker, see if they can get the ball in the hands of Maddox Anderson again. And they're going to hand it off to Jared Reel, and he goes nowhere. Into the arms of big number 79, Jacob Gaynor, 6'2", 314, and a senior. They may give him the 20. They do. Generous gain of 1, 2nd and 9. Anderson right now is lining up as a split in wide left. 2 receivers right, a wing right. Rosenall fakes the handoff, rolls the pocket near side, throws it to the ground, out of bounds, incomplete. And he was in the tackle box barely. There was no one over here on the near side, and they're going to say he was out of the tackle box. And it's incomplete, and it's going to be 3rd down and 9.
Yes. One thing is different in this game, too, Chris, is Ethan Rosenall hasn't had near the time to pass.
I'm going to get the ball out of his hands quick, right? Yeah.
So incomplete there.
2 receivers to both sides, 3rd and 9. Again, the middle of the field in this 2-deep zone is open, and we got motion up front again. Nope, we got a timeout up front again is what we got. Timeout Tucker County will keep it here, 3:34 to go, 13-6. So 2 things against this 2-deep zone. The middle is open between the linebackers and safeties. And it's getting the ball out quick because this front 4 of East Hardy has really, really controlled the line of scrimmage and getting after Rosenall.
Yeah, they have. And, honestly, Tucker County's only 1 score, back in this game. But it feels like they're more. Yeah. You know what I mean? It actually feels like East Hardy's up by 2 or 3 scores, but you look at the scoreboard and they're not. Tucker County's really right there, and able to get back in this game. Only 1 play away, but if you cannot get anything positive on offense, it just really makes it tough for you to just keep mustering up that strength to keep going.
Okay, 3rd and 9. First down here would be great to keep the offense on the field.
Yeah, because I truly believe, I didn't say this there last time when East Hardy had the ball. It looks like that Tucker defense just a little bit tired.
Oh, there's no doubt.
They've been on the field a lot.
And a lot of these guys going both ways, too.
Getting hit a lot by East Hardy on them run plays.
Shotgun again.
Big play here.
They're going to send the running back McAllister out in motion. He slips in his route, and he's going to be hit and sacked. Nowhere for him to go. It's Eli Mathias. Got in there as soon as Rosenhall was able to plant on his drop. Sacked on the play. 4th down and long, and they'll have to kick it.
Yeah, and that's, third or fourth sack tonight for against Rosenau. And
A loss of 10 on that day.
wow.
And here, East Hardy has a chance to get the football back in good field position as punting from his own end zone is Marks. And he just gets it away. Short kick, angles to the far side, takes a Tucker bounce by a few yards and stopped at the 33-yard line. So it's going to be a 13-yard kick. And East Hardy, or check that, it's going to be a 23-yard kick as East Hardy takes over at their own 33-yard line, 1st and 10. But what a great starting spot that is.
How about this stat? Tucker County has punted the ball 1, 2, 3, and if you count the botch one, 4. East Hardy 0.
Yeah.
East Hardy has yet to punt the ball.
Yeah, that's a huge stat right there. And one punt, as we mentioned, was a muff that resulted in 6 points.
Yep.
Okay, here we go. Wing left. And they're going to run a split zone. And bouncing it off the right side and going nowhere is the quarterback into the hands of Tucker County's Mark Phillips. Well, Mark Phillips has had himself a good game defensively.
Yeah, Marky Phillips, he goes by, and he's done well for Tucker County as he's shooting in there and getting some good stops.
A loss of 1. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not very many times has Miller lost. Only one other time has he lost yardage, and there Tucker County steps up and gets a big stop there. Now we got to keep it going.
That time they ran split zone. It didn't work for him as well. When he overload to one side is when it works better for him. Wing to the right. They motion him to the left. I guarantee it's going to be quarterback run left here. And it is. Quarterback run left. And Tucker County hits him. Stay on his feet is Miller. And finally brought down. Levi Pennington and company bring him down for a gain of 2 to the 30. No, a gain of 1 to the 33. Great job defensively for Tucker County. They've adjusted there at least. That's good to see. 3rd down and 9 coming up.
Yeah, it's a big possession here, Chris. You don't want to go down 2 scores if you're Tucker County.
Trips left.
You're going to have to stop them twice here.
Yeah, watch out for a deep ball. His Price is a split in wide right. Man-on-man coverage over there. Miller to pass. And it's intercepted. And up the near sideline comes Don Mullinex, the senior, and he's going to return it out to the 46-yard line. And he was helmet-to-helmet hit there by East Hardy on the play. That was Mason Miller, the quarterback, who hit him helmet-to-helmet on that tackle. Nonetheless, Don Mullinex, with his proper drop in his zone there from his middle linebacker position, was right there and comes up with a huge interception. And that's East Hardy's second turnover of the second half, as Tucker turned it over twice themselves in the first half.
Yeah,
First down 10 Tucker.
That's one. That comes with 1:11 left in the third, but it's also on a 3rd down and long play.
13-6 East Hardy. Trips left. Back to pass. Rosenau off his back foot. Ball is nearly intercepted. Rosenau has to
floated a little bit too long.
Yeah, because he was throwing off his back foot. He's got to plant his feet and throw that ball. If you're throwing from the near side hash to the far side hash, you've got to plant your feet. You cannot throw off your back foot because that well could have been a pick 6.
I don't want to speculate here, Chris, but Ethan Rosenau just doesn't look right. He doesn't look healthy. Like, I don't know if
possible.
I don't know if he tweaked his eye. I'm not trying to
you could be right.
Paint this wrong, but his footing has not been right. He's not planting. He's not throwing the ball like he normally does.
And that may explain it. So let's get the ball out of his hands quickly as Adams comes in motion. Back to pass Rosenau. This time he plants his feet, fires near side. Out of bounds, incomplete. Adams, the intended receiver at the Cougar 40. 3rd down.
It's just not a good ball there, which probably just thrown it away, maybe, but it's everything kind of like a fadeaway throw.
Again, these long developing routes, we need to get the ball out quickly because they're just putting pressure on Rosenau. And these long developing routes take longer for our line has time to block for the quarterback, Rosenau. 1:01 to go here in the third, 13-6. And without the ability to run the football, the RPO game is pretty much not a factor here in this second half. 5-man box for East Hardy. They'll bring Adams orbit motion to the near side. And Rosenall pump fakes, and he's going to be hit and dropped. Again, a pump fake deep ball route takes long to develop, and he was hammered and dropped on the play by East Hardy and sacked by their leading sack man on the season, Justin Parker. That's his 9th sack on the year, 4th down.
Yeah, marked the ball all the way back to the 38-yard line. There's going to be another loss of 8. And how many sacks? I haven't kept track, but that's at least 5 sacks East Hardy's had against it. I may be wrong on that.
I don't know. It's been more than, I think one hand has fingers on. And a fair catch called for by Haslacker at the 34-yard line. And I tell you what, golden opportunity there for Tucker at their own 46 after the ball next pick.
Squandered.
And squandered. In fact, how about this stat? Tucker's turned it over twice. East Hardy's turned it over twice. 0 points off all his turnovers.
Yeah, if you
take
away the punt drop, the punt drop, what you say it's not a turnover, it's a turnover on downs.
But that's unbelievable.
But yeah, that is unbelievable. And what the amazing stat about all that is both teams had golden opportunities. Well, at least Tucker did on this last one. Had it in good field position to get something done and didn't. Mark that down for the end of the game when we're talking in the post game.
33-yard line, 1st and 10. Expect number 13 to have his number called a ton here in this drive. And there he is off the right side. He kind of hesitates just a bit to let his line block in front of him, and he carries across the 35 and down to the 37. Give him 4 on that, 2nd and 6.
He's going to need an ice bath after this game.
And that's the end of our third quarter. Our score, East Hardy 13, Tucker County 6. Stay tuned, 4th quarter coming up next, right after this on TuckerCountySports.com. This TuckerCountySports.com broadcast live on the Tucker County High School football and basketball YouTube page is being brought to you by Pat A. Nichols, attorney at law, Jim's All-Star, Mike Rosenall, your Tucker County Commissioner, Fargo Insurance Group, Atkins Home Center in Southern States of Parsons, Mr. Pizza of Parsons, Robert Estates Incorporated, United Financial Service, and Black Grand Slam Grill. And now back to more exciting Mountain Lion action right here on TuckerCountySports.com. Mason Miller has been the workload for East Hardy tonight, Dave, and through three quarters, he definitely has been.
Yeah, that's his 26th carry of this game. Unofficially 185 yards for Mason Miller, who has 185 of East Hardy's 206 rushing.
Would you happen to know how many in the third quarter? Or at least a guess.
A guess would be 10 at least.
Well, I mentioned at least.
Yeah, I think he had 15 or 17 at half. So
okay,
he's rated around 10 that third quarter. So
I said 20 in the second half, 15 to 20. So
yeah, I mean he's on pace to maybe go over 40 carries. And we'll see how that shakes out here. But he's 26th right there.
Second down and 6 from their own 37. And they have a new H-back in there. It's Matthias. He motions and another split zone read. Keep. Miller is hit and dropped. He spun off one tackle, but he could not spin off the second and bring him down for a gain to the 39-yard line. I don't know how he got 2 yards out of that, but he did. And it was was the last guy to bring him down. And it's third down.
There have been some big hits in this game, Chris. And there was another one. Wow.
Matthias comes out because he blocked air, and he's arguing with the coach on the near side about it, and I think that's why they took him out of the game. That H-back position is very important for this team as Dellinger comes back in. That's been the most important position in the second half because of his lead blocking. He'll line up as an H-back to the right. Watch out. They may run off this near side. There they do with 2 lead blockers, and it's the first down that they needed as Miller powers his way past the sticks down to the mountain line, or down to the East Hardy 46.
Yeah, and just get more people in one spot, and they're doing their job. They're getting the blocks, and they're moving the chains once again. When
they line up the running back to either the left side or the right side of the quarterback, and the H-back is to that same side, it's overload left or overload right, and they're just trying to outnumber us to that side. And Tucker if they can recognize that, they need to try to slant to that side and try the best they can to muck it up.
Yeah, put everybody on that side when they make that adjustment and see what they do. See if they can check to a pass play. If not, we got to get more people there than what they have.
And now they're going to run a zone read fake, and Dellinger's the quarterback this time. How about that?
Yeah, they did this. They did this when we played the last time.
Mm-hmm.
Dillinger come in and played quarterback. So pretty similar to what happened in the fourth quarter last game.
Gain of 3 for Dellinger's first carry tonight. Now, Dellinger came in with pretty good rushing numbers on the season, 308 yards for the senior. As that time, Miller was the lone setback with Dellinger, and they're going to keep it that way. So now they've got
kind of a wildcat.
Miller in the pistol with Dellinger lined up behind him. And now they're going to motion Dellinger to his right. And they're going to run off the right side. Quarterback keeper. And then he cuts it back up the middle. Has the first down and more. It's Mason Miller. Look out. Here he goes. 30, 25, 20. Angles to the near side. 15, 10, 5. End zone touchdown. Mason Miller. Overload to the right.
Wow.
They've run that play to death in the second half. And they now lead 19-6 with 9:39 to go first in the fourth quarter.
51 yards. Mason Miller rumbles for the touchdown to put East Hardy up 2 scores.
Just like we talked about. They brought Matthias in at H-back. They ran Dellinger to the running back to the right side. Miller ran off the right and then saw a seam back across the middle. Cut back. Right over the middle he goes and racing it in the end zone. And he's on his way to 200. If not, he has it and more.
Oh, he's over 200.
No surprise. Levi Price on to attempt the extra point at the post to the right. This can give them a 14-point lead if he converts. And the kick is up. And the kick is good. 9:39 to go here in the game. East Hardy 20, Tucker County 6. Now, folks, don't go anywhere because this Mountain Lion team has the talent and the skilled players to come back. Can they do so? We'll find out right after this on TuckerCountySports.com. This TuckerCountySports.com broadcast live on the Tucker County High School football and basketball YouTube page is being brought to you by St. George Medical Clinic, Riccatelli Fencing and Lumber Company, Kidwell Auto Parts, Bob Gutshaw, Cortland Acres, The Nature of Care, Mountain Valley Bank, Sirianni's Cafe, Specialized Podiatry Care, and by The Paint Store. And now back to more exciting Mountain Lion action right here on TuckerCountySports.com. Well, we talked about halftime. The keys to the second half for Tucker was get the ball to Maddox Anderson in space, and it worked on the very first play of the second half for a long touchdown pass. And for East Hardy, run with Miller and run a lot with Miller. I said 15 or 20 carries. Well, they did that, plus they've used the H-back Dellinger, sometimes Matthias, as they've overloaded one side, either the right or the left, and it's been mainly the right, and it's worked a good bit in this second half as Tucker County just doesn't have enough numbers in the box right now, and the offensive line for East Hardy taking over this game, they lead 20-6.
247 for Miller on the ground.
Yeah, I mean, there you go. He's approaching 30 carries. Barrett on the return. And he gets across the 30 and down to the 32.5. So Tucker County, decent starting spot. Now they need to score on this drive. 9:32 to go, down 2 possessions. It's a 2-score game, but they have plenty of time with the type of skill players they've got, but we've got to get it going here. And I wouldn't mind seeing another little wide receiver screen or a little bubble screen to whichever screen it is and get it in the hands quickly of 88.
Yeah, and the thing about this, Chris, for Tucker County, their defense, man, is just – they play well. They're just
getting
wore
gashed.
out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a matter of time before you give up a play like they just gave up.
Trips to the right. And tied in is Licklider left and motion on the play. And we're going to move them back 5 here. Again, these pre-snap penalties have hurt Tucker tonight. Well, if Tucker does not come back and win this, a learning experience here, and you can use that into the offseason. But before we even talk anything about that, we need to try to find a way to get the ball downfield here and try to get this to a 1-score game.
Yeah, I mean, it's ultimately your goal here. You got to get your offense moving. I feel like our offense just really hasn't got going tonight, and credit East Hardy for that, for their game plan.
Now watch Licklider. He's a tight end to the left. And He's going to be in there for blocking. Quick pass. Anderson caught and ran a little in route to the far sideline. He's going to get out of bounds right around that 30-yard line, so he'll pick up a couple on the play. Second down and around 13. So that's getting it into his hands. That's what you want to do. Even if it goes for 2 yards or so, that's okay. Sometimes those can go for 30 or 40 as well if he breaks a tackle.
Yeah, put the ball up to the 30.
Second and 13.
2-yard gain there on that pass play.
Now they take Licklider at 6'5" and line him up as a split in wide to the right. Anderson wide left. In the gun is Rosenall. He'll drop the pass. Fires a deep ball. Near side Anderson double covered, and it's nearly intercepted and dropped by the safety Haslacker at the 40. Again, you're playing that 2-deep zone, and you're throwing those deep balls. Anderson and Licklider on either side of those two safeties are going to be double covered. It's going to be the corner and safety on either side, and it's just double covered, incomplete, third down.
Yeah, almost need to do a comeback route to the middle, and hopefully you can
that's a good point.
Throw it with enough zip on it the linebacker can't get there. But
good time that time for the offensive line. They gave him time to throw it. That's good to see there from that front. Okay, got to have a big play here. 3rd and 13. In motion is Adams, who's been quiet tonight. Back to pass. Rosenall steps up in the pocket, throws over the middle. Ball deflected and incomplete, intended for Racer Channel at the 35. Great job there by Torillo to step up in front. Torillo has 2 interceptions tonight and had his hands for a third possibly
he's reading that well. He's reading Rosenall well, and Rosenall's going to have to put those eyes somewhere else and throw it somewhere different and try to get those corners and safeties to quit biting on those passes.
Yeah, he'll learn to look off the safety to one side and come back to the other. That just comes with experience.
Another punt here coming from Tucker.
Sam Marks the punt it, and it's away, far side, off his foot again, and off the side of his foot. And boy, Trent Wilfong, our normal punter.
Wow.
And Sam Marks has done all he can. I don't want to put any pressure on this young man. He's only a freshman. He's had a couple decent punts tonight, but that one off the side of his foot was not.
Yeah, 38, a net of 11.
Yeah, they're going to spot the ball down to the 38-yard line. Actually, it's an 8-yard punt.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I had the wrong mark there.
That's okay.
A net of 8.
I like 11 better than 8, don't you?
Yeah, but the bad stat again is the punts. 1, 2, 3 punts.
Well, East
for
Tardy.
Tucker County in this second half. They'll make it, 3 punts. None yet for East Tardy in the whole game.
Low snap. Miller picks it up and just runs off the left side. Has room. First down and more at the 25. Breaks one tackle. Cuts to the near side 20. And finally is brought down at the 17. Make it the 16-yard line by Tucker County's Marky Phillips, who's been the defensive leading tackler from what I have seen tonight. And that was the hole that you could run a truck through that time off the left side.
Yeah, and that's 29 carries for Miller. And
22 yards there, Dave.
22 yards on that carry.
Yeah. He's getting close to 300 yards.
Yep.
8 minutes and turning here in the fourth quarter. 20-6 East Tardy. H-back in motion to the right. They're going to run power lead off the right side. And there, look at Miller just breaking tackles, stays on his feet at the 10 and dropped there for a gain of 6.
Yeah, this Tucker County D is just wore out. Not tackling correctly, that's usually a sign of being tired. When you're not doing the fundamental things right, mark the ball, Chris, down to the 10.
And again, he's 5'10", 225. And we had
He's good.
We had a guy like that was a little bit taller and about 6'3", and Brendan Miller and about 225 or so. And we ran the exact same stuff they're running right now, and that's why Brendan Miller set a ton of records here. And Mason Miller, no relation, is doing the same here.
6 yards on that one?
Yep. Yeah, 6 yards to 10. 2nd and 4. Dillinger in there, quarterback. Miller to his right. And they're going to zone read, keep, and it's Dillinger, and he'll get to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
Took a big hit.
So no gain. 3rd down and 4 coming up.
Owen Knotts there for the tackle for Tucker. And this time running out for Tucker. Need a big play here. A turnover would be good for them.
6:35 and turning.
Down 2 scores. Going to have to get one quick here.
Tucker has 2 timeouts remaining.
Most importantly, though, you got to keep East Hardy out of the end zone here.
Dillinger
be a dagger
to the right of Miller. Matthias to H-back to the right. It's going to be lead right, I guarantee you. And it's exactly what it is. They've ran this over and over. And he stays on his feet near the goal line and stops shy of it. And they're going to say knee down at the 2. First down, East Hardy. Gain of 8. Where's he at now, Dave? After that 8-yard carry.
Yeah, he is right at about 280, so huh? We'll get an unofficial official here in just a second. I ran out of room. He's had so many carries.
Yeah, I broadcast Bridgeport all year, and this is like a Bridgeport game. Running the football.
283.
Okay, here we go. They're going to go off the right side again. Lead right, walking into the end zone, touchdown. Mason Miller, 2-yard score. Right off the H-back, Eli Matthias, and the running back, Damian Dillinger. 5:38 to go, 26-6. East Hardy is going to head to Parkersburg more than likely next week at Stadium Field to take on Williamstown unless they lose this weekend, which I highly doubt, to Clay Battelle. And good luck with Williamstown. You'll need it. Talk about that later in the postgame. 5:38 to go. Levi Price on to attempt the extra point to post to the right. Snap down, hold down, kick up, high enough, long enough, and it is good. 5:38 to go in the game. East Hardy 27, Tucker County 6. We'll come back with the ensuing kickoff right after this on TuckerCountySports.com. This TuckerCountySports.com broadcast live on the Tucker County High School football and basketball YouTube page is being brought to you by Pat A. Nichols, attorney at law, Jim's All-Star, Mike Rosenall, your Tucker County Commissioner, Fargo Insurance Group, Atkins Home Center in Southern States of Parsons, Mr. Pizza of Parsons, Robert Estates Incorporated, United Financial Service, and by Grand Slam Grill. And now back to more exciting Mountain Lion action right here on TuckerCountySports.com. You know, I mentioned Williamstown. They're going to be playing their playoff games at Stadium Field in Parkersburg because the bleachers have not been installed yet at their football field. They've been playing all their games on the road this year. They've been playing most of their home games at Marietta at the college there, but they're going to be playing their playoff games at Stadium Field, which they will play Clay Battelle tomorrow, which that might be ugly. And the winner of this game had an unbelievable tall task next week ahead of them, but still, just to get a win here and get to the second round of the playoff is key. And East Hardy's going to run into a buzzsaw next week known as the Yellow Jackets from Williamstown.
Yeah, but give East Hardy credit. You know, this second half, they've really did what they've had to do to get a lead and extend it against Tucker County.
On the return and across the 30
Real
is Jared Real, and he'll get down close to the 35-yard line. Good-looking sophomore running back. And during the post-game show, we'll talk more about this Tucker team and what they've got back next year is going to be a lot. And I think Dave made a lot of good points during our broadcast tonight about how this Tucker team may be a year away. They're going to get the experience of what it's like playing in the postseason this year. They'll have that to carry with them into the offseason. They'll get these kids into the weight room more hungrier that they know what it takes to advance next year, and they'll learn from this and should be better. Okay, here we go. 1st and 10 from their own 34. Rosenall hands it off. Real hit behind the line of scrimmage and drop for a loss. 2nd down.
Yeah, in the run game, that's one thing. Just hasn't had any success. If you go back to the game where we played them in week 3 in the second half, we did get some positive running from Will McAllister in that game that really loosened up that passing game and was key to letting Tucker County get that touchdown and get ahead of East Hardy, but that hasn't happened tonight.
East Hardy has owned the line of scrimmage on both sides of the football in this one, as Tucker's had trouble protecting the quarterback and running the football in this game. Rosenall again, flushed from the pocket, rolls to the near side, flag on the play for a hold. Ball thrown over the middle, caught by Anderson at the sticks for a first down, but it's coming back. We're going to have holding against the interior of the Mount Lions offensive line here as Rosenau was scrambling away from the pressure. Great job to get the pass off and complete it for the first down, but all for naught apparently here.
Yeah, it was a nice play, but actually by Rosenau to step up and throw across his body to Maddox Anderson right in the middle of the field. But the hold's going to negate that and bring it back and put him behind the sticks again.
You know, it's a disappointing loss tonight, but it doesn't take anything away from the unbelievable season A.J. Rapp and this Tucker County team has had. No one, and I repeat, no one thought this Tucker County team would be 9-2, into the playoffs, hosting a first-round playoff game, and doing what they did all year. It's been an unbelievable season. So, folks, anyone watching this game or listening to it, this loss, yes, it's disappointing, but this doesn't take anything away from the great season they've had.
No, it definitely doesn't.
2nd and 26. Rosenau, quick pass into the ground for Licklider, incomplete at the 18-yard line. 3rd down coming up. That ball may have been deflected. I'm not sure, but short of the mark, incomplete. 4:25, stop clock here, 4th quarter, 27-6, East Tardy in front.
And this time, unlike week 3, East Tardy's going back over the mountain with a win. And it'll be a good drive for them going home. It'll be exact opposite it was back in week 3.
Quick pass intercepted. Dillinger, touchdown on a pick 6. He read the eyes of the quarterback on a quick pass to the near side, and Dillinger picked it off. 3rd interception of the game for Rosenau, and East Tardy seals this with Dillinger's pick 6, a 4:20 to go. They lead 33-6, point after to come.
How many yards there, probably?
That was about 12 yards where he picked it off and raced it in. Thereabouts, I'm guessing.
Yeah. And a good job there by Dillinger as he read that perfectly. Did Damian Dillinger, a junior, 5'10", 217. And he's played quarterback, he plays linebacker, and that was a great play by him.
He'll be their quarterback next year for sure, there's no doubt. I mean, the way he plays, the way he runs, he may put up the similar numbers as Miller done this year. I mean, he can throw the football. Watch him in warm-ups.
He threw the ball. He threw the ball more than Miller did the last time we played when they had him in there in the second half. But
Levi Price, the freshman, on for the point after. It's up. It's good. 34-6, 4:20 to go. We'll come back. Listen to a word from our fine sponsors right here, TuckerCountySports.com. This TuckerCountySports.com broadcast live on the Tucker County High School football and basketball YouTube page is being brought to you by St. George Medical Clinic, Riccatelli Fencing and Lumber Company, Kidwell Auto Parts, Bob Gutshaw, Cortland Acres, The Nature of Care, Mountain Valley Bank, Sirianni's Cafe, Specialized Podiatry Care, and by The Paint Store. And now back to more exciting Mount Lion action right here on TuckerCountySports.com. Okay, we got a score update for you in Class AAA, and it looks like the second time around this one's going to be a change. 4th quarter, the Applemen lead Wheeling Park 28-17. How about that, as Wheeling Park won the regular season game. AA score, all Herbert Hoover, the Huskies, all over Clay County, 49-14 in the 3rd. Short kick picked up by Tucker County at the 18-yard line, and I think that is Adams, or is that Barrett? It's Barrett. And Barrett gets down to the 29-yard line, 1st and 10, Tucker.
And I want to remind everyone to stay tuned for the as we'll wrap up the stats, talk a little bit about next year, talk a little about this year for this football team, and we'll tell you when our next YouTube broadcast will be
December 2nd
for Tucker County Sports.
I've already got that memorized, Dave.
You spoiled it.
You'll be coaching that night. Rosenau hands it off to Reel, and he gets what he can across the 30-yard line down to the 31.5. Give him 2 yards, maybe 3. Let's see where they officially spotted, 32-yard line. Give him 3 yards, 2nd and 7.
As I want to thank, again, these sponsors for coming on and helping us.
Oh, yeah.
Have this game on the YouTube channel for you tonight, and for those who cannot be here, whether it be Tucker County or East Hardy fans, just a great thing that's going on here at Tucker County and throughout the state at a lot of stadiums. But these 4 sponsors come on and helped us out to get this thing on the air.
Inside handoff to McAllister. He spins his way by one would-be tackler and gets down to the 32-yard line. Gain of 0 on the play, unfortunately. 3rd down and 7 coming up. Again, boy, that front 4. East Hardy's played a 5-man box this entire night, and that front 4 has kept everything off. That one linebacker pretty much all game long. This front 4 has owned this line of scrimmage really on both ends of the football.
Yeah, let's talk about him. Wyatt Hockman, one of them. We'll get the other ones here after this play.
3rd and 7. Rosenau in the gun. Dumps it right side and incomplete. 4th down, and those front 4 you've talked about are good ones. Damian Dellinger, Jacob Gaynor, Miles Kidwell, Justin Parker, and J.B. Shipe, the man in the middle, plus Miller. They moved him more to a safety position tonight. And
yeah, I've seen Hockman out there too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they've got some depth up there. It just wasn't
Hockman.
Those guys. We've seen Hockman. We've
also Strodeman down there playing the down lineman.
Mm-hmm.
I see Price Strodeman there.
Ryan Barker's also got some time in there too. So they've really rotated in 2 to 3 different guys, Dave, and they've kept those guys
Ryan
fresh.
Baker, or is it Barker? All right. Anyway, good job, East Hardy, and Tucker County going to punt it once again, and now we're going to call a timeout here.
Baker, Dave, sorry about that.
Sort it out, and while we do that, Chris, give us one last SSAC PA. Pick a good one.
Well, might as well pick the company I work for. For the best news coverage of high school sports in West Virginia all year, follow my buddy Joe Mercado and Greg Carey's Daily Post at WVMetroNews.com. And let me tell you, they do a wonderful job.
Wow.
They do.
They travel all over.
They travel all over. Joe and his highlights and what Joe does on the high school sports show on Wednesday night from Metro News, the high school sports line. One unbelievable show on Wednesday. All the interviews throughout the state each week. And
well, you know what I think when I think about him is the song "I've Been Everywhere, Man." Because guess what? That boy has been everywhere. There's not probably a high school he hasn't been to.
He has mentioned that there are a few, and in my memory, I think James Monroe was one he conquered this year. He actually got to go to James Monroe. Actually, believe it or not, I'm not far behind him on that list.
Let me tell you a story about him. All right, I'm coaching boys, high school head coach. We're playing in a regional game at Pendleton County.
Mm-hmm.
He drives from Charleston, West Virginia, after watching the state tournament girls, to Franklin, West Virginia, to get us on film and put us on the news that night, which was a good win that night. We got to the state tournament, knocked off a Pendleton County team that beat us in the regular season. But that's a travel there. There's not too many people have done that.
Helps when you're single, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It definitely does.
Trust me, I can speak of that.
You know that.
Yeah.
I do not.
I can speak of that because I think I was just thinking the other day as Marks punched the ball away and it goes out of bounds at the 49. East Hardy takes over at the Tucker County 49 with 2:47 to go, leading 34-6. I have been to almost every school, it seems like, in the state, whether it's been coaching baseball or broadcasting all 3 sports as well. But
another punt by Tucker County.
Joe's got me beat on a couple. I've not been down to Mingo County before, so he has me beat there for sure, no doubt.
You've been to Matewan, though. Have you been to Matewan?
No, never been to Matewan.
Oh, okay. I thought you did that game when we played.
Logan and Mann's the farthest south I've been down there.
And Tucker County traveled to a playoff game in Matewan many years ago.
New quarterback is the sophomore, and it's Braden Gregory. He hands off to Sean Botkin, the running back, and he loses a yard on the play. And it's 2nd down 11 coming up. So East Hardy gets the backups in here to get some playoff experience. Now Braden Gregory's the quarterback now, but I guarantee you Damian Dellinger will be the signal caller next year unless something happens.
Let's talk about Mason Miller. He ends up with,
750 yards. on 900 carries, right?
26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32 carries.
Yeah.
For 285 yards. I had to go to another column because he carried it so many times.
And I mentioned at halftime that they would get him the ball 15 or 20 times in the second half, and he had 32 carries. It was well over 20 carries in the second half, no doubt. As Gregory hands off to Botkin, he carries it down to the 46-yard line for a gain of 4. Third down coming up.
And really, honestly, that's what we thought was going to happen from the beginning.
Actually, 17 carries in the second half. Dave, sorry about that.
But he did not, in the first half, have that many yards, so mounted up quickly in the second half. But Tucker County defense, I feel, just kind of got wore out.
Yeah.
They got tired of tackling him.
And the adjustment was, as East Tardy used their ring-back tandem of Dellinger and Matthias as a second overload to either side, and sometimes they ran a few split zones, but still that was a difference, the adjustment there. They overloaded to one side and used their quarterback run game to their advantage. Now, a pre-snap penalty against the Cougars will back them up to the 49-yard line. It'll be third down coming up in 11. And that was the adjustment they made, and credit them. They made the adjustment. They wanted to focus on getting Miller more touches and overloading one side of the line, and it worked for them. In Tucker County, they adjusted a little bit well, but they just couldn't keep it going in the second half. In time possession, this game favored the Cougars heavily, really.
Yes, it did. And stay tuned for the post game. We'll touch briefly on a matchup coming Saturday that Chris is very familiar with.
And there's a first down run for Gregory. That time Matthias lined up as the H-back to the left, and they moved the running back Gregory to that side, or Botkin to that side, and the quarterback Gregory just right off that left side on the power lead left, and it's going to be a big run down to the Mount Lion 30-yard line, so give him 21 yards. That's Braden Gregory and the first down.
And Chris will talk briefly on the Bridgeport-Cabell Midland game, which he'll be on the call of.
A lot of carries in that game. You got the triple option.
Might be about an hour and a half game.
The triple option to Cabell Midland and the single wing of Bridgeport. 14 seconds to go. They'll probably take a knee here.
Or maybe not even run the play.
This is always the time of the game where I call the prettiest formation in football, the victory formation.
And they're not going to snap it.
They're not even going to snap it. Final score, East Hardy, the number 10 seed, defeats the number 7 seed, homestanding Tucker County, 34-6. Stay tuned for our postgame show, Dave.
Yeah, the Accurate Auto Estimators and Collision Repair postgame show right after this. 30 seconds.
This TuckerCountySports.com broadcast live on the Tucker County High School football and basketball YouTube page is being brought to you by Pat A. Nichols, attorney at law, Jim's All-Star, Mike Rosenall, your Tucker County Commissioner, Fargo Insurance Group, Atkins Home Center in Southern States of Parsons, Mr. Pizza of Parsons, Robert Estates Incorporated, United Financial Service, and Black Grand Slam Grill. And now back to more exciting Mountain Lion action right here on TuckerCountySports.com.
Welcome back to the Accurate Auto Estimators and Collision Repair postgame. Accurate Auto Estimators and Collision Repair in Parsons is there for all your collision repair needs. The owners, David and Crystal Nelson, would like to say thank you to the community for their patronage. And congratulations to the Mountain Lions on an outstanding year. Call Accurate Auto Estimators for your next collision repair. And it would bring you into the Accurate Auto Estimators post-game. And as I said pre-game, I misspoke. Chris George with you, Dave Helmick. And Chris, this one just kind of got away from Tucker here, especially in this fourth quarter. You look at this. East Hardy scores 3 times in the fourth quarter. As we went into the third quarter, this game was only 13-6 lead for East Hardy. Fourth quarter really weighed heavy on these Mountain Lions.
First play of the second half, 65-yard screen pass and a touchdown, catch and run for Maddox Anderson, tied this up at 6.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And then East Hardy scored the next 28 points.
It's crazy, you know, in that first half, it looked like Tucker County just could not get anything going. They come out here, start the third quarter, like you said, with that big little bit of life in this Tucker County offense, but the defense just could not slow down East Hardy long enough. They did in the first half, but second half it just caught up with them.
Yeah, both teams adjusted at the half just like we thought they would, except we knew Mason Miller was going to get more carries. He did. They just overloaded one side of the line with their H-back and running back blocking out in front for the quarterback, Miller. And Tucker tried to get the ball quickly out to Anderson as much as they could, but that East Hardy front four was a story defensively for them. And Tucker County, I know this score says 34-6, but let me tell you something, folks. This Tucker County defense, when you look at the final stats, it may not indicate this, but this Tucker County defense played pretty well tonight considering how much they were on the field. Time of possession was a whopping favor for the Cougars in this one.
Yeah, it was. Let's go over it quickly. Scoring summary. East Hardy got on the board first in the first quarter, 5-18 with a 1-yard touchdown run by Mason Miller to make it 6-0. Tucker County, like you said, we go all the way to the third quarter before we have our next score. 65-yard touchdown catch by Maddox Anderson. It was a bubble screen. He made three guys miss and went 65 yards to make it 6-6 with 11:47 left in the third. Then East Hardy scores a 15-yard touchdown by Miller, 51-yard touchdown by Miller, 2-yard touchdown run by Miller, and then a pick six for a touchdown that makes this final 34-6.
And it was Dellinger. I mean, he was also.
Yes, it was Dellinger. I forgot to write that down.
All those touchdowns for Miller, you can thank Damian Dellinger at the wing, at the H-back position, as one of those lead blockers. And Eli Mathias was also involved there a little bit when they moved Dellinger into the backfield as the running back. But man, unselfish effort here for East Hardy, and this is why they're a good football team. They're going to have to play exactly like this next week against more than likely Williamstown. If it's Clay Battelle, that would be a stunner, but it's more than likely going to be Williamstown, folks. I'll just be honest with you. And they're going to have to try to keep away from the Yellow Jackets. That's the only chance they've got to beat Maxwell Melissa and that Williamstown Yellow Jacket team that has a ton of talent that by most are the overwhelming favorite to win Class A.
Yeah, I mean, a tall task for East Hardy. They go on the road next week. Don't know what it'll be Friday, Saturday yet.
It'll be at Stadium Field in Parkersburg. That's all we know.
That'll be determined on Sunday at the meeting. But let's do two things here. We're going to give credit where credit's due. East Hardy come in here, got the job done. Good job by them. Good luck to them next week. A very talented team is East Hardy. And Coach said it. Coach Rapp said it in the pregame. Just squeaked by him to get a win in the regular season, 14-13. We thought maybe after that first half it was going to be another barn burner, but it wasn't. East Hardy run away with it, and give East Hardy credit. They did what they needed to do to move on, and they're advancing to the quarterfinals to more than likely face Williamstown. Williamstown plays Clay Battelle. Was it tomorrow or the next day? I don't know what day it is, Friday or Saturday. They play them to see who advances to the quarterfinals. But let's just rewind it back here. Tucker County with a great year, Chris, and let's just talk about this. I mean, you get the win against East Hardy, which honestly we thought maybe a coin flip going into it. With East Hardy's talent, with us, I'll be honest with you. When I come into that game to call it, I was thinking if we can compete with East Hardy, I think we could probably go ahead and run the table after that. Whether we win or lose against East Hardy, we get the win. It just shot a big old boost in our arm, and then we go out and win that many more and finish 9-1. Talk a little bit about this Tucker County team.
AJ Rapp went into the offseason knowing that he was going to have a ton of skilled players. So he tinkered around with what would work best. So he installed a new RPO offense, and it worked greatly with this team. And great job by A.J. Rapp and his staff to get this team going and winning. Great job by the junior quarterback, Ethan Rosenall. What a year he had. I mean, just unbelievable season. He came into tonight, Rosenall did, with almost 3,000 yards passing, at 2,810 with a whopping 35 touchdown passes, and he had one more tonight, so give him 36 on the year. And no one felt that was possible, but it was. So you have something to build on. You built an identity here with your offense and your skill players and your quarterback, and now you can build on that into the offseason, get this line stronger, get these kids in the weight room. They felt the playoffs for the first time. A.J. Rapp talked about that in our pregame show. He's like, our guys have never felt postseason football. Now they have. Yes, it was a loss, but that should make them even hungrier in the offseason, knowing what it takes to advance next year in the playoffs.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. A taste of it, and this team really did well this season. Maybe gave Coach Rapp something to build on as far as the passing game. I'm going to be honest with you. We talked about this before the season, and Coach Rapp, he'll be the first to admit it. He likes to run the ball, and for him to commit to passing the ball as much as he has, it's just kudos to him for just adapting to what he has and changing it to match his personnel to get him this great season.
And sometimes in this RPO offense, the quarterback makes the decision.
Right.
And Rosenall did a great job with that this year. But tonight, the RPO game was taken away because we just could not run the football at all. Their defensive front owned the line of scrimmage. I am surprised that the score was 34-6. I'm surprised. I thought Tucker could win this game. I really did. I picked them this week to win this game, not because I'm from the area. It's just because I felt that Tucker won the first time. I thought they had some momentum off that, but credit East Hardy. They came in here to play, and Mason Miller was the man tonight, 285-plus yards.
Yeah, good job, East Hardy, and good job. And a great season continues for them as they up their record to 9-2. Tucker will drop to, 9-2 also, as I'm going off my memory here.
Your memory's right.
And I want to say, this is the Accurate Auto Estimators Collision Repair post-game show, and we're going to have the stats for you here shortly. I just want to say Accurate Auto Estimators Collision Repair in Parsons is there for all your collision repair needs. The owners, Crystal and David Nelson, would like to say thank you to the community for their patronage and congratulations to this Mountain Lions football team on their fabulous year. Call Accurate Auto Estimators here in Parsons for your next collision repair. Support them. They've supported this Tucker County team tonight. And also want to just go over the stats real quick.
I'm in no hurry. I only have to go home. It only takes me 30 minutes to go home tonight.
The big stat of the night and the player of the game, we don't have to say it we don't have to talk about it too much. Mason Miller, 32, unofficially, 32 carries, 285 yards rushing. East Hardy ends with 327 rushing, and he has 285 of it. They only had 363 total yards, and 326 came on the ground, and that's exactly what we thought they would do. Only 36 yards passing. And if you took the recipe and put it in a pot and mixed it up before the game, I think me and you both would say this is what East Hardy has to do to win the game, and that's what they did.
I'm not going to give you a player of the game for Tucker County, but I'm going to mention one man who played one well of a game is Marky Phillips.
Yeah, Marky Phillips,
he
very
played a heck
good,
of a game.
Very good on the defensive end. Probably a defensive player of the game, definitely Marky Phillips. Offensive player of the game, it's really never got that good on offense. But I will say the defense for Tucker County, I think, did everything possible for Tucker County to win this game.
They forced 2 turnovers in the second half.
Everything possible. This offense just never could get going. We had the turnovers. We had the stops. I mean, coming in this game, I was wondering whether Tucker County could even get stops against this East Hardy team. They got the stops, but they just could not get their offense going, and credit East Hardy for that. Real quickly, Chris, offensively, only a net of 3 yards rushing after those sacks from East Hardy on Rosenall, and 133 yards passing for only a total of 136 yards for Tucker County. Ethan Rosenall ends with 133 yards passing, probably his low of the season. Maddox Anderson, 67 yards receiving. And go ahead and talk about what you want to talk about Tucker County's offense.
Well, I want to talk about these seniors in their last game tonight because this senior class has done wonders this year. William McAllister, Trenton Wilfong, who was hurt tonight and didn't play. That was a huge loss. Jacob Barrett, we called his name multiple times tonight. Just Levi Bennett. He had a big catch tonight as well. Hayden Smith, we called his name a few times tonight. Don Malnext had the interception in the second half that kind of really helped this Tucker County defense. He also had a lot of tackles tonight as well. And how about Levi Pennington and his play tonight on both sides of the line? Of course, Jaden Stanley is the other senior. But it's not a large senior class in numbers, but a lot of players that meant a lot to this team on both sides of the football this year.
Yeah, definitely. And a great leadership, too, by those seniors that carry this this team through. And, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, they got, one of the best records, of the Tucker County ever. And, what else can you say? All right, before we wrap up this Accurate Auto Estimators pregame or postgame, briefly, Chris, talk a little bit about tomorrow night, or actually not tomorrow. It feels like a Friday night. Saturday night's game, Bridgeport versus Cabell Midland. It's a win or go home, and Bridgeport's hosting there at Wayne Jamison Field, and they play pretty well at home. This Cabell Midland team, though, is a little bit of a beast for them.
I'll be honest with you. I think Bridgeport's played better away from home this year. Bridgeport should be a 10-0 football team, and they're not because of 3 turnovers against Morgantown, which, by the way, they played without Zach Rohrig, who was their leading rusher this year, well over 1,200 yards on the season. And also 3 turnovers against Princeton, plus Princeton recovered an onside kick in that game, and Princeton won that by 5. And Morgantown won their game by 4. So it's a Bridgeport team that should be 10-0, but they're not for a reason. And at the end of the year, Bridgeport ended up plus 5 in turnover margin, but before the Musselman game, they were -1 turnover margin, which was after the Princeton game. So that's the key for Bridgeport. They can't turn the football over because Cabell Midland runs a triple option offense. They have an outstanding running game like they always do, led by their quarterback, Ryan Wolf, who's their second leading rusher, and, of course, their fullback Curtis Jones, who leads them in rushing on the year, and Zachy Roberts. Zachy Roberts is the younger brother of J.J. Roberts, who played for Cabell Midland a couple years ago, who is now at Wake Forest University. So it's a triple option offense. Neither team's going to throw the ball. I think we may have a combined total of maybe 6 passes tomorrow or Saturday. But both teams run the ball well. Triple option for Cabell Midland, single wing for Bridgeport. I think the home game helps Bridgeport. And I think whoever gets off to the quick start and places them in front is going to win that game. Similar to tonight, whoever wins that game gets Martinsburg. Yeah. And whoever wins this game gets the Beast in Single Day in Williamstown. Yeah. So it's similar in that fact. How motivated will they be? Either team. Bridgeport will be because Bridgeport played Martinsburg last year in the semifinals, and that was a Martinsburg team that was dominant. And they were a little better last year than they are this year, but that was a 21-0 score last year. And Bridgeport had the ball inside the 20-yard line 3 times and lost it on down. So they know what it's like to play against Martinsburg, where Cabell Midland does not. All right, well, that's going to wrap it up. Accurate Auto Estimators and Collision Repair in Parsons post-game. I want to thank them. Thank Dave and Crystal Nelson. I want to thank Nicole Props up there at Jim's All-Star. I also want to thank Cheryl Bennett for coming on and helping out. All those sponsors helping out for this broadcast. I want to thank Chris for joining us tonight. He'll be back with us for some more action in basketball season, as we'll have our first basketball broadcast going December 2nd. He already spoiled that one for you. Our Tucker County girls will be hosting Notre Dame on December 2nd for the first game of the season. Chris George will be there to bring you that game live on YouTube at the Tucker County Gym. Join us then. Thank St. George Medical Clinic for their generous donation. Thank all the TuckerCountySports.com sponsors. Hey, we'll have them back on the air on December 2nd. For Chris George, anything else? No. You said it all, buddy. Let's thank A.J. Rapp and his football team for providing us a great year. Yeah, thanks for A.J. Rapp for all his help this week as he got this field and everything ready. All his helpers to have this home playoff game, had bring bleachers in. Thank all those people for helping, all the community helping out. It doesn't go unnoticed.
Just an awesome thing to see, a community coming together. I know it wasn't the outcome everybody wanted, but it's just an honor to have a football team in the playoffs once again. And thanks everybody for tuning in all season for these home games on YouTube. We appreciate it. And for Chris George, this has been Dave Helmick. We'll see you in basketball season. Good night, everybody.